It's the 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast with your friend Mike. It's the 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast that you like, 'cause it's free. Here he comes now. He's gonna sit down. It's gonna start.
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Folks, I wasn't going to talk about this because it hadn't happened yet, but it just happened, so now I'm going to talk about it. It's Tuesday afternoon. I was going to record earlier in the afternoon, but I got a late start because for Christmas I was out late and then I stayed up late at my house. I'm sitting here staring at a bag of fudge. That's probably not good for the Attaboy Schmidt, Little Schmitty Attaboy Fit Brigade, correct? Because, hey, Merry Christmas, first of all, and Happy Boxing Day to those of you that celebrate Boxing Day. Don't we all? I mean, isn't there a Boxing Day tradition of me telling you about Boxing Day and then forgetting it again for a year until I'm reminded by social media that for some reason people in the world celebrate Boxing Day? And by the world, I think I mean Canada. I don't think it's anywhere else, right? It's a Canadian deal. And I have a ton of Canadian fans. I got an Amanda up there. I got a Rick. I got a Ken. I got a John. That doesn't seem like a ton. That seems like 4, but still... I used to have other fans. There used to be a Sandra. There used to be a Valkyrie. There used to be a Sabrina. And some of those may be the same people. I don't know. But those people, they've long gone. They've faded into the distance. They've stopped listening to me and my ramblings and my rantings. It's so funny. Facebook, as we've talked about many times, which is something I have to get out of. I have to get out of Facebook. I have to get out of social media entirely because why would I want to have a career, right? That's the way I contact you people. And I keep forgetting. A lot of you don't use Facebook. A lot of you are also just on Twitter or wherever, and you're finding me in different places. And so I need to reach out to you that way. Because then when the show's late, I'll get people on Twitter all the time. And hey, fuck, I'm just repeating myself like an old man now. I think I've talked about this many, many times. You know why? Because it's a Boxing Day tradition. That's what happens is an old man sits down and he scours his brain and he tries to repeat the things from his past that he knows he's told you about, but he insists that's what boxing's all about. You know what? It celebrates all of the pugilists in our past and our future who have brain damage and keep telling the same story over and fucking over again. That's what Boxing Day is for you folks. That's just, it's just Rocky Marciano. It's just Jake LaMotta sitting on a stool spieling off some fucking story about pasta that he told in the 1950s before his Sugar Ray never got him down. And then he's telling it again on a nightclub stage before punching Kathy Moriarty in the face and threatening Joe Pesci's life with a potato peeler. That's what Jake LaMotta does with his time. Not anymore, though. He's dead. And I have to think, is Jake LaMotta, because I don't know the rules of your sky jail, whatever the fuck heaven is, whatever you guys believe, you Christians and you Catholics and you Bible people. And I don't say you accusingly. Good for you. I'm glad you found strength in a book, and I hope it helps you out. I hope it gets you through life and makes you happy. I have a friend on Twitter. He's a Jesus guy. He loves him. He's a big fan and a friend, and he talks to him all the time. I never get to speak with the J-Man, Jesus. I used to pray. That's funny. I ever tell you that story? I used to pray when I was a kid, but I prayed for all the wrong things. Like I would literally pray for my favorite sports teams to win. I would, and that was a run. Like I had a list of people that I would ask to please bless, and then I would say, and please make sure these teams win, because I really valued Jesus's football prognostication ability. That's how it was. I believe the 85 Bears get nowhere if it's not for me and Jesus. You got Wilbur Marshall and Otis Wilson terrorizing quarterbacks. You've got several Hall of Famers on that defense, and quite frankly, an offense that was criminally underrated. Because I would fuck, dude, NFL Network just had like the top 10 teams of all time. And they put the 85 Bears, or I think it was seasons, or no, it might have been the best seasons of all time, not just top teams. The greatest seasons of all time. 85 Bears came in on that list. I'm stalling because you're not going to believe. I'm stalling because you're going to faint dead away. You're going to faint completely dead away when I tell you where they ranked on that list. The 85 Bears, who went 15-1, lost one game on Monday Night Football to a Miami Dolphin team that didn't have the fucking balls to win the AFC Championship game and give us a rematch in the fucking Superdome. That Bear team went 15-1 and murdered everybody except that Dolphin team, who then pussied out and wouldn't fight us again in the fucking Superdome in the Super Bowl because we were waiting. We were there in our white uniforms, pristine. The fridge knocking Mike Singletary unconscious with a fucking crazy weird hit, with fucking Reggie Phillips running back fucking interceptions for touchdowns, Steve Grogan getting sacked in the end zone, the late Dick Enberg, God rest his soul if you believe in that sort of thing. Jesus, whoever the fuck is resting souls, please take care of Dick Enberg, because he was the one who called the Bears Super Bowl win. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard that he had passed away. I was so disappointed because, again, Dick Enberg, huge voice in my childhood, because in the daytime you get Pat Summerall and John Madden on CBS, and then you'd get a Dick Enberg and a Merlin Olsen on the big AFC game on NBC. That's how it worked in Chicago. Before Fox came in and mucked everything up. Although they didn't really muck everything up. They took Summerall and Madden, so it's the same voices, but still. But then Dick Enberg passes away, and he's the guy, he busted out the, oh my, when the Bears were doing great things. He was the one, he's got my favorite call of all time in the Super Bowl. If you watch it, you can probably find it online. I think the Bears get their 40th sack of the game. It was a blowout, folks. You know those New England Patriots that you hate now because they win all the time? Go watch the 85 Super Bowls so you can marinate in them getting their asses beat. Champagne Tony Eason taking a fucking thrashing at the hands of the goddamn monsters of the Midway at the Junkyard Dog defense, coming in as Dick Enberg termed it. And like I said, you can look it up. It's one of my favorite moments. And the Bears like a jailbreak. That's what he said, because it was like 9 dudes running free to the quarterback. And Champagne Tony, I don't even think he was touched. I think he just took a fucking Illinois Illini knee. He just fucking kneeled down and went, yeah, can't have it happen. And that's when they had to get in Grogan. They said, hey, Grogan, strap on Patriot Pat and get out there and fight these guys. And he said, I'm going to get my ass beat. And and all of you Patriot fans with your fucking nonsense, I hear this all the time. People are like, oh, if only Lynn Dawson hadn't blown out his knee on that first series, the Patriots, their tight end would have carved up your 46 defense. I go Santa on you guys. I laugh in perpetuity at people who would tell me about Lynn Dawson changing the face of the game against the 85 Bears. Really? This is a true fact. I'm not even exaggerating here. The Chicago Bears had 21 Hall of Famers on defense. You only start 11. They had 10 Hall of Famers on the bench. They had 2 Hall of Famers who didn't even come and play that year. Todd Bell and Al Harris. They're lurking at home watching the Super Bowl going, shit, we held out for a contract extension. Look what the fuck happened. The Bears went hairless on them and said, well, okay, stay home. We'll go with Fensick and Marshall. And then they fucking abused everybody. And the next year, guess who showed up? Oh, number 90. He showed up. Todd Bell, however, went to Philadelphia and fucking was dominant for Buddy Ryan's fucking defense. Because Todd Bell's a man, goddammit. 1984, watch Todd Bell lay out fucking Joe Washington. Go find it now. That's when football was football. You heard Donald Trump. He doesn't want people taking knees and being nice to one another, being friends. He wants football where the blacks are killing one another. That's when it was a sport to him, when the blacks were scrambling each other's brains back and forth, because that's all those people are good for. That's what he'll tell you. I think I've lost the point. I've lost the plot here. I was talking about something before. Oh, so anyway, yeah, the Chicago Bears, they have them. Did I even mention this? I might not have. They have the Chicago Bears ranked number 6. They have the 85 Bears season ranked as number 6 in all-time great seasons. 6. Like, even on the show, some of the people are like, 6? What? And then their whole thing was that the Bears' defense was great, but their offense wasn't that great. That offense scored over 40 points, I think, 3 times that year. They led the league in scoring and in scoring defense. The disparity, I think this, and again, not an exaggeration, the Chicago Bears that year scored 819 points as an offense. And granted, the defense contributed some safeties and things like that, but 819 points, only allowed 17 points in a 16-game season. That's rough. You know how hard that is to do? To just give up a safety and then 15 extra points the rest of the year? All right, no, it's true. They had a bunch of shutouts. Not everybody got an extra point. It's not like 15 teams got 1 and 1 team got 2. But still, to only allow 17 points in a 16-game season, do you know how fucking amazing that is? And that comes in 6th? Behind I think they had, the 61 Colts or some bullshit. They got to unearth some team of corpses. Oh, the Cleveland Rams from the 40s were slinging the old pigskin around when fans wore hats to games and everybody cared about their appearance. Fuck you, Cleveland Rams, and fuck Norm Van Brocklin, and fuck all of you bullshit and the guys putting the Bears at number 6. You're insane. Fucking sane. Now look, I will not have the argument that the Chicago Bears are the greatest team of all time. I mean, they're in the discussion. That 1985 team is in the discussion as the greatest, one of the greatest teams. It's certainly one of the greatest teams of all time. However, I will not be deterred because again, there were the teams that they put ahead of them. Look, I get that the 88 Niners and the 84 Niners were badasses. All right, the 88 Niners absolutely belong. I would rank them with the 85 Bears, probably above. That 88 Niner team fucking punked the Bears in the NFC Championship game at home 28-3 after the Bears had beaten them that year in a game that oftentimes people will say, hey man, the Bears, they need a quarterback and stuff. And I'm like, yes, they do. Truly, you want to see good offensive football. But if you've got a vicious punch them in the mouth defense, I'd be happy to watch that team all fucking year long. Now look, nobody wants to see your fucking team taking safeties and throwing screen passes and bubble screens that go nowhere. Certainly that's embarrassing. However, I tell you this. If you have a punch him in the mouth, vicious, violent defense like Todd Bell knocking out Joe fucking Washington in 1984, you'll watch that team and you won't fucking care that you're only winning games 6-3. You don't fucking care, because if you want to watch your fucking defense ether another team and just fucking put a pillow over the face like the Chief, then throw a sink through the window and run off to the Super Bowl, that's fucking good. You're on board with that. Fuck you. The rest of the league is McMurphy sitting there with its mouth open and a scar on its forehead, and you just fucking Chief it and throw a goddamn sink through the window and stampede to the Super Bowl. You'll watch that fucking team. That's a defense you can get behind. That's a team you can watch. And that year in 1988, the Chicago Bears, they defeated the San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana and other Golden Boys. They came to Chicago on a cold October night. Please don't pin me to facts because this is just coming out of my brain. But I'm pretty sure it was a cold October night because I watched that game in a fucking casino in Tahoe in 1988. And I believe the Bears won 7-6. That's my guess. It could have been 6-3. It might have been 9-7, but it was single digits all the fucking way. And it was Richard Dent with fucking sacks and interceptions. Just the Bears absolutely abusing that Golden Boy 88 Niner offense. And I'm like, fuck you. See you in January, Montana, you fuck. Because they came to Soldier Field in October and they got stomped the fuck out. They got Ed Norton curb stomped a la American History X. Open your mouth, put it on the curb. Let's hear the teeth hit the cement and say goodnight. Splat, crunch. Now, unfortunately, just like American History X, in January, the Niners raped the Bears in the shower. It happened. I can't deny that it did, because all of a sudden the Bears, like I said, they won in October in Chicago against that Niner team and fucked them up and said, see you in January, man. Curb stomp. You're fucking dead. And then the Bears in 1988 wound up in the championship game at home. Bear weather. Everybody went crazy because it was like minus 41 degrees. And that's not even, I'm again, not exaggerating at all. It was minus 41 degrees with a wind chill of minus 100. As a matter of fact, the entire Soldier Field, it doesn't have a dome, but it was covered by an ice dome that formed out of the blue just with the wind and that weird colliding weather. There was the hawk coming in off the lake and then other cold weather coming in from Elmhurst and Schaumburg, and it all smashed into one another and it formed an ice dome, and it made Soldier Field look like an ice globe, like a snow globe. And I said, you know what? The Bears are going to fucking handle this. The Bears are going to punk out these Niners just like they did in October. And just like American History X, unfortunately, the Niners raped the Bears in the shower 28-3. And Jerry Rice went fucking off. You know why? Because Jerry Rice is one of the top 5 players in the history of the National Football League, perhaps top 3. Yeah, you can take your quarterbacks. There's plenty of quarterbacks, and they make the engine go. They make the offense work. But Jerry fucking Rice could get open whenever the fuck he wanted to. He was ridiculous. Goddamn Jerry Rice. And I'll tell you what, he showed it in that game, 28-3. That was another game I watched in a casino in Tahoe. Probably the same seat. Probably stole the same drink tickets, drank the same beverages, ate the same dollar pizza, and was grimacing the entire time as I watched the fucking Niners. Because you know what? I wanted Bears-Broncos in the Super Bowl. I wanted the Bears to handle that Bronco fucking team. That might have been the year that Butthead beat the Broncos with a fucking, they won in Mile High like 36-33 on a field goal by Butthead, or they lost. I don't know, folks. We're getting into the nether regions of my brain now as I try to pull games from 1988. However, that Niner game in October and that Niner game in January are very vivid, because then the next week, 2 weeks later, because that was when there was the 2-week break between the Super Bowls, it was the Niners and the Broncos. And everybody's like, oh, this is the year the Broncos come back and win, because the Broncos are, it's John Elway, man. And granted, the year before, the Washington Redskins beat the fuck out of them in the Super Bowl 42-10, and I think it was 42-0 at the half. I mean, like, literally, the first pass was Doug Williams to Ricky Sanders for 80 yards and a touchdown. And this is when the Broncos, because again, everybody's like, oh man, the Broncos, they're going to get it right one of these years when they go to the Super Bowl. Because the Bears, look, the Broncos have ruined great Super Bowls forever. The Broncos ruined it, as I've mentioned many times on here before, in 1977. The Denver Broncos ruined what would have been the greatest Super Bowl in the history of football. Clearly, the greatest Super Bowl would have been the America's team, Dallas Cowboys in white, and the defending champion, just win baby, Oakland Raiders in black and silver. It would have been in the Superdome again. See, how come all of my Superdome Super Bowls are getting torn apart? It could have been Bears Miami in the Superdome. It could have been fucking Raiders Cowboys in the Superdome. And yet it all fell by the wayside because of the Broncos and other fucking jerks. All right, so I don't even know how he spun off into that. Regardless, the 85 Bears should not be number 6 on that list. I'll have the argument that they're not one of the greatest, that they're not the greatest team of all time. I get that. But as far as greatest seasons of all time, fuck you. And there's 46 U's in that fuck for every fucking defensive guy they threw at you. Fuck you, man. You got to be kidding me. The Bears, like I said, 21 Hall of Famers on defense, 10 on the sideline, 2 at home. Actually, yeah, 8 on the sideline, 2 at home. Tom Bell and Al Harris holding out from contracts. But then Todd Bell went and joined that Philadelphia defense that really should have done a lot more. That team should have won more. Buddy Ryan gets a lot of credit for the Bears, and he should. He built the 46 and fucking stuff like that. And everybody made Ditka the joke because they became this larger-than-life personality. And then it was all about his perm and chewing gum and fucking yelling at people and opening restaurants and smoking cigars and being a dick. Because Dick is a dick. We can't get around that, right? Dick is a fucking jagoff. However, Buddy Ryan was just as big a jagoff. It just so happened that he had a bunch of Hall of Famers on his side of the ball. Now, again, the Chicago offense, as I mentioned, criminally underrated. And Greg Landry and our friend Mike Ditka doing all the magic that they could with it. And then they bring in Vince Tobin, because that's another thing. Buddy Ryan, he's got that 46 defense clicking. And then the next year when he bails and he goes to Philadelphia, they bring in Vince Tobin. They allow less points in 1986. The defense was actually more effective. Was it as effective visually? Like flying like a jailbreak, as our man Nick Edberg would say? No, Dick Edberg, there was no jailbreak in 86, although they did get a bunch of sacks. But still, their scoring defense was even better. But then in 86... unfortunate things happened for the Bears in the playoffs, and they just never were the same because they had to go and get. Now here's where Ditka became Ditka. He goes out and gets a Doug fucking Flutie and ruins goddamn everything. Or was that in '87? That might have been in the '87 Bears. What happened to the '86 Bears? They went 14-2, and did they lose to the Dexter Manley Skins? Was that the 27-17? Was that Peyton's last game? Yeah, because then maybe in '87. No, because in '87 the Vikings and Darren Nelson had an upset. Like Anthony Carter went off and buried the fucking Niners. No, that's '87. Yeah, that's '87 because then the Niners didn't make it happen. Oh man, this is me. Hi, how you doing? Late '80s football. Let's get into my brain. Let's not. You know what? This is what happens on Boxing Day. Like I said, you LaMotta it. You sit around. You think to yourself, well, this is what happened in my glory days. You go ahead and you think you become like a Julio Cesar Chavez or a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. or a Hector Camacho or a Hector Camacho Jr. or I can't even remember his fucking name, Jimmy Young, or a Jimmy Young Jr., or a Muhammad Ali, or a Muhammad Ali Jr. Like, all of these guys went into boxing. Because you know why? Those kids are like, hey, I love a sport that fucking ruined my dad. Why don't I get in? I probably got some talent for it. It's going to be amazing. And then Julio Cesar Chavez turns into he's like a running pussy. Like Julio Cesar Chavez, this is totally not a lie. Julio Cesar Chavez, one of the toughest fighters in the history of boxing. I mean, in the history of fighting, in the history of combat, Julio Cesar Chavez is a guy, he may have been reincarnated from years of fighting in wars, the Civil War, Aztec War. He's just embodied with the warrior spirit. This is true. Julio Cesar Chavez, I think he held 5 belts at one time, including the heavyweight belt, even though he weighed 141 pounds. That makes no sense. And yet, he was in there knocking out the likes of Ernie Shavers. That is who fucking Julio Cesar Chavez is a guy. This is totally true. He once fought a bear on a train car. That's not even a lie. Julio Cesar Chavez, just because he wanted, and that was a way to stay tough. That was between title bouts. He goes, you know what, I'll take anybody on. And they said, we got a bear that wants to fight you in international waters. He's like, I'm scared of swimming. Isn't that crazy? Julio Cesar Chavez, totally scared of the water. Never swam. He never swum. Besides, they never swum. He and Maggie from Caddyshack are off making love instead. That's what he would do between fights. He'd fuck the Irish waitress from Caddyshack, and he'd fight a bear in a train car. That's how Julio Cesar Chavez handled his business. And you respected him for it, because that's the kind of guy he was. Warrior spirit, it imbued him. It glowed from him. This is completely true. One time, Julio Cesar Chavez fought a Cub plane, like a Cessna. He fought a Cessna. That's what it was. And because Cessna have a propeller, because that's what it was. He actually fought. You know what? You ever see Raiders of the Lost Ark when the guy gets pushed into the propeller? Julio Cesar Chavez saw that movie, challenged that plane to a fight, beat it, knocked it out with the propellers going. He just dodged it. And you know what? He didn't even dodge it. He walked right into the goddamn propeller, but he was so tough from years of fighting, he still didn't get cut. He still didn't have his face swell up. He walked directly into the propellers, landed a couple of 1-2s, landed a couple of sweet left hooks, and knocked that plane the fuck out. They counted it out. Done. Adios, man. Mills Lane just counted that plane out, and he and Julio, you know what? This happened. They knocked that plane out. Then Julio Cesar Chavez, I can't say his name so fast, and Mills Lane, they revived that plane with some smelling salts and a couple of slaps, and then they flew that plane to Vegas, and they fucked 15 women each. That's how Mills Lane and Julio Cesar Chavez did that, and you know when it was? Fucking Boxing Day. That's how they celebrated their Boxing Day. Christmas Day, they have the fight. Julio Cesar Chavez versus a goddamn Cessna. This is the plane from Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's like, you might beat a German. Maybe you can take on a Nazi. Let's see you take me on. Warrior spirit. So he and Mills Lane go out to the airfield. The plane, of course, accepts the challenge. He's not fucking around. And then he ducks and dodges. He gets hit by the propeller a couple of times, but he still comes in. A couple of smooth left hooks. Adios, plane. Flip over. Done. Counted out. Mills Lane. 9, 10, 9. You're out. And then he and Mills Lane revive the plane, fly it to Vegas, fuck a couple of showgirls. That's how they work. That's how tough people handle their business. I wanted to be tough. I wanted to be that guy. Instead, here I am talking to you at a desk on Boxing Day, recounting stories I've no doubt told you in the past. Let's Let's take a breath, shall we? It seems like the time for a breath. We're 20 minutes in. I just looked at the fucking clock. we're about 18 minutes into this fucking show. Perhaps I have a piece of fudge. I'm staring at a bag of fudge right here on the old desk. It's staring right at me because I had it last night at my friend Matt Weinhold's for Christmas. You know, Matt Weinhold, host of the very famous and popular Monster Party podcast that I've been involved in. Well, he invited me over for Christmas because I didn't have a lot of plans. Now, look, I will tell you this. Last week, of course, our producer was Maki. We went to Maki's house, and a lot of you were very nice and responded very respectfully and responded nicely to said show. Had kind words for me and for Maki. That was nice. Because Maki's, she's an important part of the show, as are all of you. Other people have extended invitations to me to possibly record at their place. Our friend Jolene, of course, and Dr. Mike, who I went to their wedding. They're like, hey, you can come and broadcast at our house. Fearful Jesuit even said I could go and broadcast at his house. That's kind of weird. That won't be. I don't know, because I'm going to get in there and I'm going to record, and then he's going to do some sort of weird epilogue where he calls out like the Freemasons, and then I'm going to be on some hit list somewhere. That's the deal. Even promoting the show is dangerous for me, because I give my real name. Fearful Jesuit hides behind a nom de plume, if you will, so nobody's going to find him. But in order to get to him, they're going to fucking get to me. And in order to get to me, you know what they got to do? Come to my apartment. Like, literally, it's not like I don't have any levels of protection. I don't have any layers of anything. Everybody knows who the fuck I am. You order an Uber in Los Angeles and you fucking find me and tell me to find out where Fearful Jesuit is. Fuck, god damn it. I'm putting myself in danger because I'm out there. I'm gallivanting. I'm out there with everybody. I'm stealing fudge from everyone, for fuck's sake. Just look for a fat guy absconding with fudge and you'll find me. But I do hear it. Listen. That's a bag of fucking fudge, because I was at Matt's house, and here's how, well, wait, before we get into that, let's talk about this. So last week was the Christmas, 2 weeks ago was the Christmas show. Last week was supposed to be the Christmas show, because I wanted it to lead into Christmas. But then today, I've decided today is going to be a Christmas show as well. It's fucking, you ever see those fucking shows, they do like Christmas in July, or like a mattress sale, where like, hey, it's Christmas in fucking August. Hey, it's somebody's birthday somewhere, right? Let's have some president was born this month. Hey, man, you remember James Van Buren? I think he had a birthday or a divorce this month. Let's sell a mattress in his honor. And they do it in the summer. Well, same thing with Jesus. They're like, yeah, it was Jesus' birthday in December, but he fucking loves summer. That guy was a sunbathing jerk. I saw him looking real cool with his Wayfarers on, baby. That's where I saw Jesus. And I can tell you, my love for Jesus will still be strong after the gods of summer have gone. Got his hair slicked back and his Wayfarers on. So Jesus is out there. And so people they have Christmas in July as a sort of a celebration. So why can't I have Christmas every for a couple of weeks this week? Why not? I didn't get to celebrate. What the fuck was that? What am I, Nelson Muntz? That was fucking awful. Hey, smell you later. I didn't have family with me this Christmas, and I didn't have other, significant others and people to be with. So I was very happy that Matt reached out and asked me to be with him, and I was very happy to be with Maki last week. That was almost like a Christmas celebration in itself, to go out and eat dinner with her at the corner of Lettuce Lane and Crouton Court, and that's not even a lie. When I don't know if I mentioned that last week, I may have, but when we were at Toppers, there were street signs in the pizza joint, and we were right on the corner of Lettuce Lane and Crouton Court as we ordered our lunch. And surprisingly, I've actually started, that's where all my mail gets forwarded. If you want the P.O. box, I now have a P.O. box at Topper's Pizza on Lettuce Lane and Crouton Court. Just forward all my mail there, please. But then I had the Maki show last week, which was great. And then I drove hardcore over the weekend because I was trying to hit a bonus and stuff like that. So, I drove even on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Eve, people, I guess that's a family time and things like that. I had established a tradition over the years where we would go for Chinese food and a movie. And I did that with, people who were in my life, and it was fantastic and I loved it. And then last year I went to Matt's on Christmas Eve because he reached out to me, and that was really cool. Well, this year he reached out and said it's Christmas instead. And I love Matt and Carrie. They're fantastic people, and it was really nice of them to invite me and make me very happy. So of course I was going to go there on Christmas. But then on Christmas Eve, I decided I would drive. I needed a bonus. So I did. I hardcore drove it, and I had all day and night to do it, but I hoped that I could hit my bonus, and hustle, so I could actually do my Chinese food movie thing, which I really like to do. Even though I was doing it alone, I was okay with it. But I wound up driving, and it broke so perfectly my Christmas Eve, other than having people I love around. I mean, for an independent solo Christmas, it worked out pretty well. Or Christmas Eve, I should say. Because I drove hardcore, and there were several Chinese joints that I had circled in. There's a Chinese joint that I like in Hollywood called the Mandaret, and it's usually where I go to. It's one of my go-to joints. I bring Heidi there when she comes out for Podfest. Or they have a thing called strawberry shrimp, which everybody loves, but what I love is they have a lion's head soup, which is actually a lion's head. They boil it, and then they peel off the cheek meat, and you just fucking use the mane as a napkin. It's delicious. And then at the end, the best part is when they present it to you. They come out with a waiter, and he holds it above his head, a la the Lion King, and then they had to have a fucking monkey come out and sing a song. Baboon? Mandrill? I don't know what the fuck that is. Who holds up the baby? There's like a monkey or a mandrill or a baboon. I haven't seen the movie in a while. I love that I say that as if I should have that knowledge really at my fingertips. But it is. It's a baboon. Fuck it, I do know. Because it's this famous meme. It's a scene. It's Simba, and he gets held the fuck up, and then James Earl Jones dies later. Mufasa? Actually, I had Musafa at the Ethiopian restaurant on Christmas Eve. That's how I work my life now. I've switched it around. No, Mufasa's the dude, and then Scar is the bad guy. Look, why am I trying to prove to you that I've seen Lion King? That seems like it's something I wouldn't be proud of, or not even proud of, but just that I wouldn't need proof of. I don't need. What does this country come to that I have to sit down and prove to you folks I've seen a Disney film, for fuck's sake? Anyway, I had lion's head soup. It was Symbolicious. It was so damn good. And I usually go there and I bring people to the Mandaret. But this year, I was looking at the top Chinese joints in town because I wanted to maybe splurge a little bit. Wanted to make myself feel a little special because I was going to be alone. And I was like, well, maybe I'll go to a fancy joint for some Chinese food. So I looked around, and a lot of the fancy, cool, good places are in the San Gabriel Valley. Now, if I had wound up driving there with my Uber and being in that part of town, it would have been fine. But I didn't, I don't want to drive 20 miles to get some Chinese food. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but after driving fucking 250 miles all day, schlepping strangers around to parties as they carry their covered dishes, I didn't feel like driving another 20 to take in, because look, again, that's actually a pretty good metaphor for my life. I care enough about strangers to drive them anywhere they want. Don't care enough about myself to treat myself to a nice restaurant and drive 20 miles. Not when the Mandaret's close. I do love the Mandaret. But also, I will tell you this. I did reach out. There was a place called Pine and Crane, which I've heard really good things about, and I reached out to them. And those people closed on Christmas Eve because, they're a fancy joint. They don't have to cater to people on Christmas Eve and have that tradition. They don't have to be open for anyone. They give their employees and their real chefs the day off. Meanwhile, the fucking Mandaret, which actually purchased their kitchen staff from a slow boat that went by the Los Angeles harbor and snuck them out in crates, and they have them in leg irons in the back making me some lion's head soup, because I'll tell you what, nobody volunteers to work in a kitchen where you got to kill fucking lions for soup. That is a dangerous soup, and I love a dangerous soup. You know me, that's why I order it. Lion's head soup, shark's fin soup. The Chinese specialize in dangerous soup. That's fantastic. Good for them. They don't make any fucking chicken noodle. They laugh. They laugh at Americans, the Chinese. They would much rather make a goddamn angry, dangerous soup. Unless it's, who would be a terrific cook at a Chinese restaurant? Julio Cesar Chavez. Holy shit. If that guy gets in line, he's going to make Raiders of the Lost Ark plain soup. I'd eat a bowl of that stuff. Couple of left hooks, and he knocks the fucking lion out, puts it in there, brings me the main, holds it above me. They Symbolicious it, and they throw me out a bowl. Fantastic. Me and the JCC knocking it down. All right. So I wanted to go to like a fancier Chinese joint, but the ones that I was checking, and also there was ones that are just hardcore in Chinatown. But I tried to, those people I called, and that phone conversation's a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you folks. That's the kind of place you just kind of got to drop in and nod. You start calling these Chinese places. I keep hearing that Christmas Story is racist for that last scene. I don't know about racist. I mean, maybe that's the joint he went to. That's what really happened. I'm sorry that those guys talked like that, and maybe they didn't. But I mean, that happens. So that's real in the world. You do go to places, and there are, especially here in California, you'll go to Chinese places in Chinatown, and they don't have the first fucking clue what you're saying. You try to speak English to them, and they just stare at you like you're the crazy one. Like somehow you just walked through some fucking Stargate into Beijing, and they're just looking at you and just like, look, do you want to buy the gremlin or not, Ling Tao? So then he just got a point, and he's like, and again, they say that, again, they're babbling in Chinese. I don't understand them. And then I get it home, I get it wet, and look what the fuck happens. Next thing you know, Flo from the fucking, from Alice is getting fucking electrocuted on a staircase. By the way, my dad died in a chimney. He got locked into a chimney, got drunk. He wasn't playing Santa. He literally got drunk and climbed into a chimney and died. That's how he died. I never told you that story. How awkward is that moment in Gremlins? We were just talking about it last night at Matt's. It just comes out of nowhere. Where she's telling you the Santa story, and you're just like, Jesus Christ. Oh, spoiler alert. I apologize if you haven't seen Gremlins. See it anyway, because Phoebe Cates is so naked in it. Oh, I'll tell you what. Never before has someone who has benefited so much from getting wet been in a film where getting wet was so against the rules. Phoebe Cates. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, get her wet. Absolutely get her wet. But in Gremlins, do not get the Gremlins wet. But you know what you need to get wet in that movie? Get fucking Phoebe Cates wet. You solve the whole problem. Although I get news for you. Remember when you got the gremlin wet and the shit started popping out of his back? You get Phoebe Cates wet, stuff's going to come popping out of me, but probably out of the front. Hi, Brad. You know how cute I always thought you were. Gong, 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 boom, ba-dum, gong. Oh, stroke it, Judge. All right. So, what was I talking? Oh, Chinese. We're talking about Chinese food. Oh, well, look at these. So I'm talking about Chinese food. I'm talking about Chinese food. I wanted to go to Pine and Crane. It's closed because they don't have to cater to the great unwashed. They don't have to cater to people like who have a Christmas Eve tradition. They've got real chefs. They can send them off. So I've got to go to a different place. I look at these Chinese Chinatown joints, and man, like I said, that's a tough phone call. And I don't want to take the chance of driving to Chinatown and trying to walk in to a place because then it's closed. And like I said, then the next thing you know, I'm bringing home a gong. Just because I feel like I went down there and I have to do something. I have to buy myself something, for fuck's sake, if I made the trip to Chinatown. So instead, I settled for, as I've mentioned, my place, the Mandarin. I called them. They were open till 10:30. So I figured if I hustled and I did some stuff on Sunday, I could actually kind of make it. And sure enough, I came into Sunday, here's how it went. I had to do 60 rides in 3 days. Now, you can do 20 rides in a day, you know, if you're committed. Well, I wasn't so committed. So I waited a little bit on Friday. I didn't get out till like 8 o'clock at night. And I drove from 8 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock in the morning. And I wound up doing 16 rides because some of them were far. I wound up doing some 20 because a lot of people were going to the airport and then you're stuck in fucking traffic. It was a mess. So I got 16. You're doing the math. I still need 44 rides in 2 days. Now, you got to make 20. You got to make your nut. And the thing is, Friday and Saturday I figured were the big days because Sunday's going to be Christmas Eve. Nobody's going to be out fucking getting Uber rides. I got to really schlep and try to get people as much as I can. There's probably just going to be people going to and from parties. So sure enough, Saturday comes along, and Saturday I hardcored it. Like Saturday, I went out at 5 o'clock. Now, I should have gone out earlier. I could have gone out at like 2 or 3, but I slept in because because Friday night I did 16, and like I said, it was 5 in the morning, and then I went to a chicken joint. I went to Birdie's. I got a couple of chicken sandwiches, one for that night and then one for the morning. I slept in a little bit. I slept into like 2 or 3 on Saturday afternoon. I got up. I ate my chicken sandwich. I got showered. I got ready to go out and drive. I got out at 5 o'clock, and then I hard fucking corded Saturday. I was like, I'm just going to keep driving. And I did 28 rides on Saturday night. I got home at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. Got to bed at 8:30. Because normally I don't climb right into bed, man, but I just fucking crashed out. It was Christmas Eve, man. Yeah, I gotta get into bed. Santa's gonna be here soon, right? No, I gotta get into bed because I gotta go drive 16 more people. Again, you're doing the math with me. You realize I've done 44, so I go do 16 more people. Now, I will also tell you this. I thought, because recently the bonuses have been 55 rides, so I thought I only need to do 11. And I drove 28 people. It was 8 in the morning. I go, fuck this. I'm going home. I'm bleary-eyed. I got in. I looked at my phone. I realized I needed to do 16 fucking rides on Sunday. It wasn't 55. It was 60. So I slept in. I figured to myself, I go, well, it's 8 o'clock. If I can get like 3 hours of sleep and get in and wake up and watch some of the Bears game. And look, the Bears, as we've mentioned earlier, they were so fantastic in 85. Not so much this year. I have hope for a Mitch Trubisky and the way that they're turning things around. And look, their game at the Browns, nobody wants to see that fucking game. That's a terrible game. But in my head, I went, well, it's the last 2 games of the year. I got to watch some because I've been hit and miss on watching them. I watch them if they're on national TV, and some other times I kind of sneak away to see them. I can't get into how I do, but sometimes I see those games. And I really wanted to see the game Sunday because there was snow. It's fucking so much fun to watch football in the snow, especially when it's the Bears and they got their dark jerseys. And the Bears never lose in bear weather. And that's a stat. You can look it up. Please only go as far back as 1989. Do not go to the 1988 NFC Championship game. I may have mentioned that earlier in the show. But from 89 on, they never lose in bear weather. So it was snowy and the dark jerseys, and it's just a grass field. It's fun to watch. So I wanted to get up and watch it. And instead I said, fuck you, it's 8:30, get some sleep. And I did. I got up at 1:30, so I got 5 hours. Got up immediately, went on Twitter, and I reverse watched the show. There's some guys I know who live tweet the games. So I went to their, the bottom of their feed, and I scrolled up, and I saw that the Bears had won. I was very happy about that. Got showered, went out and hit the road. And I'm thinking, man, I got to do 16 fucking rides on Christmas Eve. That's never going to fucking happen. Well, here's what I forgot. Not everybody hides on Christmas Eve. Not everybody hibernates. Not everybody has a family. Not everybody does that thing where they're just kind of watching the candles glitter and then decorating the tree and hanging out and having sex under the ornaments, which is always fun. Not everybody is tying up their significant other as they're naked with Christmas lights. Nobody else is doing that. Other people are out doing other things. They're out gallivanting, and that's the people I wound up driving. Now, I will tell you this. I had to go to the airport fucking 5 times for people driving to and from or flying to and from Los Angeles. Which is fine because you make extra money because, again, they're longer rides. But at the time, I'm just trying to hustle and get the fucking rides in. Well, I got out there. Like I said, I started driving around. It was about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And I will tell you this, unbelievably, and maybe because of the area I wound up in, because I wound up taking some people to the airport, and then I wound up going to Inglewood. And then I'm in Inglewood and fucking Westmont and kind of Boyle Heights, which is, these are areas where... They're I don't want to say poor areas, but they're not Hollywood. And also the drivers, they're all in fucking Hollywood because they're trying to pick people up there. Well, dude, I'm in fucking Monticello and Boyle Heights and Inglewood and Baldwin Hills and all this shit. And I'm picking up a lot of people who don't own cars and a lot of pool rides. And I'm down there. And certainly people I'm taking them to Manhattan Beach and whatever the fuck. But still, I'm gathering a lot of people. I'm making headway. And before you fucking know it, get this. Like I said, the Mandirect closes at 10:30. I have 17 rides banked by 9:00, baby. 9 o'clock p.m. I'm finished. I'm done for the night. Now, I was looking at movies. Like I said, there was a movie I wanted to see, a few of them. I bought Movie Pass, but I still want to go to the ArcLight to see certain movies. And then also, I will tell you this, the movies that I really wanted to see aren't available on Movie Pass. Like the 2 theaters that are buying me that have Movie Pass did not have these movies yet. There's a movie called Phantom Thread that I wanted to see with Daniel Day-Lewis. And it was in 70mm at the ArcLight. And then there was a movie called The Post, which has Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep portraying reporters. Any movie where Tom Hanks is going to roll his sleeves up, that's a quality C on a holiday. You want to go and check that out. Anytime a Meryl Streep makes a furrowed brow and stares at a Tom Hanks and the two of them emote all over one another, that's what you want to see on Christmas Eve. You want to see Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks just emoting, just vomiting emote all over one another. In their 70s wardrobe and their rolled up sleeves, and I guess they're real people in it. I think The Post is the real story of a paper called The Post. I think. I don't want to speculate. But it's also Steven Spielberg, so I know at the end of it some bullshit's going to happen. Like, you know, Tom Hanks is he's going to befriend an orphan, and then this urchin is going to be happy, and then there's going to be, I don't fucking know. That's why I'm worried about Ready Player One. You know, I don't know is he directing it? I don't think he is. He might just be producing it. But I hope he doesn't come in and sandwich in some weird alien happiness parent thing at the end. Because I'm tired of movies where it's the parents. It's always somebody's parents. It's always, oh, my dad died, my mom died, my parents were mean to me, or I killed my parents, it's always, Jesus Christ, I got enough of that in my real life. I don't want to go to a movie theater and see that you have daddy issues. I've got daddy issues, okay? I go to the movie theater so I can eat a tub of popcorn and fucking shove my daddy issues down near my liver somewhere, all right? I just want a couple of kidneys parsing out my goddamn daddy issues as I watch you float around in a spaceship and enjoy life, or run out of gas in space and then have an entire movie about it. I don't want to give away any spoilers. I don't want to get into it, but I will just tell you this. There's a space movie right now that revolves around the fact that some people run out of gas and they have to stay in space the entire movie. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get into too much about it. I don't want to spoil things. I don't want to tell you anything about a casino that doesn't belong there. I don't want to go into the fact that all they're trying to do is recreate things from the previous movies. I don't want to get into that, folks. Spoiler alerts. But the bottom line is I want to see movies with humans in them. But again, when you watch The Post with a Meryl Streep and a Tom Hanks, you're like, well, those are humans. They're doing human stuff. They're getting to the bottom of some gritty stories. Look, I saw on the poster again, Tom Hanks, he's wearing an old-timey shirt with the sleeves rolled up. That's a movie I want to see. Until I realize Steven Spielberg's behind it, he's going to Frank Capra the shit out of it, and then eventually Donna Reed's fourth cousin is going to come in and dump a bucket of money on Jimmy Stewart, and a bell's going to ring, and there's going to be a book and all sorts of cool stuff. And Tom Hanks is going to go, God bless us, everyone. And then the aliens will be watching from a ship. Like, you remember the Simpsons conceit when it would always be Kang and Kodos up in the fucking spaceship, and stuff would happen on Earth, and then they'd pull back to the spaceship and them watching Earth? That's like a Spielberg ending. At the end of The Post, they're going to expose Richard Nixon. They're going to get to the bottom of Watergate, and they're going to go up to King and Kodos, and they're going to just nod approvingly to one another, and then go beep, 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 and fly off into fucking space because Spielberg demands to be stolen by aliens. That's his whole deal. Like, his parents must have been so terrible to him that he wants the aliens to come and take him away. Even now, at 65, as fucking successful as he is, the guy's he's made Schindler's List, which maybe is not the best feel-good thing to pull out. He made E.T. He made all these fucking brilliant movies, but still, he's got some sort of parent thing where he wants the fucking aliens to come and steal him and be nice to him. And I could feel that. You know, when I walked out of the theater on Christmas Eve, well, I'll get into a second. Well, fuck it. I'll just tell you. I walked out of the theater on Christmas Eve, and it was lonely. It was kind of sad, a little choked up. I mean, it was 3 a.m. And I like that. I like walking out into the quiet. It's even better when you can walk out into snow and you hear the crunching underneath your feet and it's just really, really still. And it's like it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was down in Hollywood because I wound up going, all right, here's what happened. I got done at 9 o'clock and I called the Mandarin and they were still open. So I went ahead and ordered some food and I could have gone there and gotten food and then gone to, because that's what I was talking about. The movie times did not line up with my Chinese food times. Because Phantom Thread started at 10. Now, the Post started at 11:30, but I really wanted to see Phantom Thread, but I couldn't get there and have Chinese food. However, there was a 1 o'clock a.m. showing of Phantom Thread. So in my head, I was like, well, I really, really want to fucking see Phantom Thread, but I also want to see the Post. But what I really want to do is, like I said, Phantom fucking Thread. And also the Post, the Spielberg thing was the coin flip decider for me. If you could be Daniel Day-Lewis being a jag-off to people, or Steven Spielberg making everything nice, I'm going Daniel Day-Lewis. I like jag-offs, and I like the double DL. He's my guy. I like a JJC and a double DL. I like anybody with a 3 name. I like anybody with a hyphen. So I'm going to go check out a fucking hyphen, for fuck's sake. So here was my plan. I was hightailing because my last ride that I dropped off, I wound up down in Commerce. So the Mandarin's in fucking West Hollywood. So I got to hustle over there. So I called them. Once I got about 15 minutes away, I called them and they put my order in. And I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my food home. It's fun to go out for Chinese food on Christmas Eve when you're with someone you love. But if it's just you solo, in my head, I'm like, why not bring the Chinese food home? You can rest a little bit because you fucking got, 5 hours of sleep and then you drove for fucking 8 hours or 7 hours, whatever the fuck. I can't do the math right now. And I said, get yourself some Chinese food and head home, have a Chinese feast while you watch some cooking shows or whatever the fuck you taped. Or actually, why don't you watch some Christmas specials, Mike? That would make sense. All of this thinking was done on the fly, folks. But that's what I did. And here's a Christmassy decision I made. I ordered myself, like I said, a large lion's head soup. And the soup is delicious. But even if the soup was not delicious, I would order it just because the effort created for them to kill and fight a lion to make me a bowl of soup. I'm on board. Dangerous soup. I'm in. So I got a large lion's head soup. And in my head, I was going, should I get strawberry shrimp? But here's a key to the strawberry shrimp at the Mandarin. You can't get it to go. Because they give you the fried shrimp, like the crispy fried shrimp, and then the strawberry sauce is on the side because they're like, oh no, it'll get soggy on your way home. Well, fuck that. I don't want to assemble anything. I don't want a fucking Chinese food puzzle. I don't want a logic puzzle. I don't want a finger cuffs. I don't want that shit. Build me my strawberry shrimp. Now I understand getting home would just be opening the lid and then pouring the sauce on it and then hooray, strawberry shrimp. But here's the thing they don't understand. Frying the shrimp and then putting a lid on the container traps in the steam from the frying and it just decrisps the whole fucking thing anyway. So it's not the sauce that makes it soggy, it's the fucking steam inside the covered container. Bottom line is, don't take strawberry shrimp to go. Because you're going to have to either assemble it or you're going to make them assemble it. When you're getting home, it's still soggy either way. Because again, I live like 9 miles from the Mandarin. If it's right up the fucking street, who cares? I could run over there. I could get on a bike. I could hop on a big wheel. I could get in a green machine. I could roll over there and grab it and still get home and it's crispy as fuck. And God knows I love my strawberry shrimp crispy as fuck. I usually, when I call up, that's what I order. It's like when I go to Five Guys and I'm like, I want fries and burn them. Seriously, burn them to hell. I don't care. I want them to shatter when I drop them. But now I should just say crispy as fuck. That's a cleaner way of saying it. And I want to know if they have that abbreviation on the register. Five Guy Fry, crispy AF. So I call them up and I go, hey, give me a lion's head soup, a large lion's head soup. Now, I will tell you this, too. This is sneaky. They only have one size of the lion's head soup. But I always say, give me a large lion's head soup on the off chance it tricks them into giving me a larger lion's head soup. I know that's ridiculous. But you got to have a soup strategy, folks. That's the way look, here's how you run your life. Figure out how you want to handle raising kids. This is the discussion you have when you meet the person you think you're going to marry. And then how do you feel about kids? How do you feel about where we live? What do we feel about progress and jobs? And then you keep separate bank accounts. And then you absolutely have to have a discussion about how you want to handle your Chinese food orders. And it's important that they're on board with that. That's the bottom line, folks. So I called them up and I'm like, all right, get this. And I want a large lion's head soup. And they said, fantastic. So I try to trick them with the large, hoping someday they'll give me a larger than large. I don't know what that means, but perhaps it will. And then I said, hey, you know what else I'll have? I'll have 2 scallion pancakes. Because usually my usual standard order, and this is the most boring show I could possibly think of, is a large lion's head soup and a scallion pancake. Because then I put all 4 scallion pancakes in the bottom of a bowl and I dump the soup on top of them and it's a whole melange. It's a whole get-together. Everybody into the fucking pool. That's what I say. But this night I ordered 2 scallion pancakes. Why? Because I envisioned bringing one to the movies with me. I thought I would have my own portable snack. So I had a couple of scallion pancakes. I had a large lion's head soup. And like I said, I can't get the strawberry shrimp to go, even though I love it. I can't do it. So instead, I got a house fried rice. I substituted beef for a pork. So it's beef, shrimp, and chicken inside of a house fried rice. And their fried rice is delicious. And I've got, like I said, I've got myself the large lion's head soup. I got a couple of scallion pancakes. And then I said, you know what? I think I'm going to get some pot stickers. What kind do you have? This is what we have, the pork, or we have a shrimp and chicken one, which is $1 extra. I'm like, fuck, it's Christmas. Give me the shrimp and chicken, please. He said, pan-fried or steamed. I said, pardon me? He said, pan-fried or steamed. Now, you would think I'd be locked and loaded on this, but I don't order a lot of pot stickers, folks. And in my head, I couldn't remember. I know the textures. I like a pan-fried because it's crispier, but I also like a steamed because it's chewier. But I also like the noodle. I like a little chew in the noodle. I couldn't do it. And he caught me. I was driving on the fucking 405. What the fuck do I know? Pan-fried or steamed? I can't make that decision. I'm moving at 80 miles an hour. You expect my brain to go pan-fried or steamed? And then in my head, I went, you know what, Mike? It's Christmas Eve. It's fucking Christmas Eve. And I absolutely, as if I were Scrooge waking up in the morning and telling a boy to go buy a goose for the Cratchits, I made the most benevolent decision of the year. And he said, pan-fried or steamed? And I said, you know what? Both. He said, pardon me? I said, both. He goes, you want them pan-fried and steamed? I said, no, my good man. I'll take one of each. And I could practically hear his heart swell like the Grinch's 3 times that day. Because he thought he made a suggestive sell, but in reality, he just didn't know that he was dealing with fat, generous guy on Christmas Eve. And I decided to Scrooge it up for myself. I had woken up. Marley's ghost had shown me the way, folks. I couldn't go just pan-fried. I couldn't go just steamed. I needed to have one of each. And by the way, I don't even know how many are in an order. I don't order pot stickers. So I don't know if there's 10. I could be getting 20 pot stickers. I have no fucking clue. It doesn't matter. It's the holiday season. It's all about largesse. You must be good to yourself, as our friends Steve Perry and Kenny Loggins told us. Or actually, no, that's a different story. That's don't fight it. Kenny Loggins and Steve Perry told us don't fight it. You know what? They go hand in hand. If you're planning on being good to yourself, as Journey told you, then don't fight it, as Steve Perry and Kenny Loggins told you. Don't fight it, folks. Be good to yourself. Get the pan-fried and the steamed. Go. I feel like Damon Wayans in fucking Beverly Hills Cop. You take these bananas. Take these bananas and you run. I took pan-fried and steamed and I fucking ran into the goddamn distance. Showed up at the Mandarette. Big sack of food. I don't fucking care. I got a fridge. Yeah, that's right. I got a goddamn fridge. And I come home and I relax. I watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I watch Year Without a Santa Claus because I get home at 10 o'clock. My movie's not till 1. No, it was like quarter to 11 by that point. But I still got 2 hours. So I come home, I have, and I can tell you this, I can't eat like I used to eat. So here's what I eat. I open up the pan-fried, I open up the steamed. I put 1 scallion pancake in a bowl and I cover it with the lion's head soup. I dump the entirety of the large lion's head soup inside of that. So that's there. That's what I normally eat. And then I take 2 pan-fried and 2 steamed and I put them in a side bowl. And I bring them into the living room with me where I go and watch TV and I eat, and everything else goes right in the fridge. Right now, as we speak, folks, the Tuesday after Christmas, the 26th, 2 days later, I still have the fried rice untouched, unopened in the fridge. I still have 8 pot stickers. No, 4 pot stickers. Hold on. Let's do the quick math. I still have 2 pan-fried and 2 steamed in the fridge right now. I still have some lion's head soup left over because, again, I can't eat the way I used to eat, folks. I know you want me to. I know you wish I was eating right now. I wish I could crack open this bag of fudge and chomp some down for you, but I can't. I wouldn't do that to you. Steve Dahl used to do that when I was a kid, and it made me sick. It doesn't matter what you're eating on the air. It always sounds like you're eating mayonnaise out of a jar. That's how I feel about it. I don't give a fuck what you're eating. Crispy cookies, crunchy chips. Anytime you eat anything on the air in a broadcast, it sounds like you're eating mayonnaise out of a jar. It just sounds like, it sounds like a horse eating sugar cubes. It's just fucking disgusting. Don't eat on the air. That said, let's have some fudge. All right. So that's what I did on Christmas Eve. I was good to myself, as Journey told me to be. Brought home the Chinese food. I sat there and I watched I watched the Heat Miser, I watched the Cold Miser. I got to be honest, it's a slog to get through Rudolph for me. I don't even record Frosty anymore. I can watch the Grinch. I still got to fast forward through the songs on Year Without. I just can't watch Jessica going and doing her thing. Although I thought Jessica looked like Jill. I know that's the weirdest thing in the world, but I would look at her and go, I can see Jill in her, kind of. But I mean, I'm seeing Jill in pieces of toast at this point. So, sure enough, I'm watching. So I watch Christmas. That's what I do. I watch A Year Without a Santa Claus. I watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Certainly with the fast forward button at the ready. I can't watch all of these. I only got a couple of hours. But I wanted to Christmas it up, man. And I'm not, what am I going to watch? Mass? Fuck that. So I'm watching those. I got Rudolph on tape. I got The Grinch. And I had actually taped It's a Wonderful Life that night. But I'm not going to watch that because it's a 3-hour sit. And I only got 2 hours. So I went through some soup. I had some scallion pancake. And then I wrapped up my leftovers. I got ready to go to the movie. I bought my movie ticket online. I went to see Phantom Thread. I was one of only 25 people in the theater. And get this bullshit. First of all, I go on to buy it. And it's 1 a.m, Christmas Eve. So I figure it's going to be dead, which is great. But I like to sit directly in the back. I like to sit back row, directly in the center of the screen. Like I said, that's how I handle my business. I like to sit directly in the back row, right in the middle. I don't need to be in the center of the theater. I want to be in the back row because I don't want anybody fucking behind me. And I don't want anybody around me fucking talking. If it's a sold out movie, I get it. But sure enough, I go in to buy my fucking ticket. There's a dude, dead center screen, second to last row. Literally sitting right in front of the seat. And look, if you're going to make that fucking commitment, what the fuck are you doing, man? If you're going to buy the second to last row dead center, get the last fucking row dead center. Why do you want one person behind you? That makes zero sense. I can still stab you. I can still kill you. If I'm behind you, I can still kick you in the fucking head. Make sure nobody can approach you from the rear. It's all about, read The Art of War, motherfucker. Read The Art of War and Going to the Movies by Sun Tzu. You never give an opponent another flank. You must seal off your rear. And if you want to see people coming in from the right and the left and from the front, that way you can survey the entire fucking battlefield. But you let some guy behind you? What the fuck, man? So then I got to buy a seat like 4 seats over. I show up in the theater. I park on the street, save myself some valet parking money. I go in to see Phantom Thread. I sit down. I'm in there. Like I said, there's only about 15 other people in the fucking theater. And a party of 4 walks in. This is not even a fucking joke, man. 4 people walk the fuck in. This dumpy looking dude and 3 chicks. They come walking, and I'm watching them climb higher and higher. I'm like, no, don't. No, don't. No, because I'm the only guy in the back fucking row. Okay? And I'm a little more to the left of the theater than to the right. I'm screen left. Like I said, dead center and about 4 over. So I'm 4 seats away from the dude in front of me. But they come walking down. So I'm like, all right, well, clearly they're going down to screen right. They're going to go all the way down to the other end. And they come marching in. They come walking in. I should tell you this. It was a 70mm presentation, and they gave us programs. They did this for Hateful Eight a couple years ago. It's this really neat, almost like, remember when you used to go on see a concert and they would have a tour book? Like I had a Van Halen tour book and it was just photos, behind the scenes type of stuff. Well, that's what it was for Phantom Thread. So I grabbed one for me and I grabbed one for Randy because I know Randy will like it. So I went ahead and grabbed that for her. I shouldn't, that was a Christmas thing. I shouldn't have said it on the air here. I don't know if, well, then again, I don't know if I'm going to see her. But anyway, I grab the programs and I sit down, and so I stake out a little area for myself. I got the programs in one seat. I've got my water bottles. I bring in some water bottles. Those on the other seat. I brought, I will not lie, a chocolate orange because I enjoy the holiday season and I love the Christmas chocolate oranges. So I actually grabbed one of those and brought it with me to the theater because I would enjoy that as a snack, a Christmassy snack. And these motherfuckers, this dumpy dude and his 3 chick harem, they come walking up, and I pull my legs in because they're going to obviously walk by me, and they walk up, and the programs are on the seat next to on my left, and he goes, "Are those yours?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Is that seat saved?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Yeah, well, no, we bought these seats." And I stare at him. I just look up at this guy, and in my head, I just want to go, I almost went, "It's Christmas." I mean, that's all I wanted to fucking say. There's nobody else in the fucking theater. There's 15 people in a theater that holds 400. And you motherfuckers, you fucking Scooby and the gang, you dumpy motherfuckers are going to sit next to me in the back fucking row. Now look, I recognize people want to sit in the back row. That's why I'm back there. I like sitting in the back row. But there's an entire fucking back row. I'm the only guy in this fucking spot. Go down. There's nobody there. There's nobody even in front of you. And he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, that's our seats." And I pick up I pick up the programs. I move them over by the water bottles. And this dumpy motherfucker sits right next to me. And the 3 girls sit down. 2 of them bring out their phones. And they just start talking. Now, again, the movie hasn't even started yet, so you can be on your phone. I don't give a fuck. What are you doing sitting next to me? Unless you're going to give me secret Christmas hand job, unless you brought the popcorn to put in my lap and do a fucking secret popcorn hand job trick, there's no reason for you to sit fucking next to me. Not at Phantom Thread. We're not packed in, okay? This isn't we ran out of gas in space, okay? This is, we're sewing, and one guy's a pill, and this relationship might be a little rough. That's what we're watching. This is Merchant/Ivory, not Star-fucking/Wars. But they sat next to me, and they just start talking. And they're gross. And I will tell you this, they obviously had also gone for Chinese food because there is a very, and look, I'm here to fucking say it was me, but it wasn't. There's clearly an odor that happens to your breath or whatever. You get that oniony thing happening just because it's just general cooking oil. I don't know if it's MSG. I don't know what it could possibly, I don't know if it's gong slivers or in your fucking throat. I don't fucking know, man. All I know is when you eat Chinese food, you get that fucking, it happens when I drive people around too. They get in my car and in my head, I'm like, yeah, Chinese food, didn't you? I don't want to say it to them, but I can tell. So, and I had brushed my teeth, by the way, before I left my house. And I had used a Biotine and rinsed me out. I had gone with a little blue swish, went with a blue swish. And spit it the fuck out because I knew I was presentable. It's Christmas Eve. And these dumpy motherfuckers sit right next to me, man. And these are the seats where you can pull the little armrest up. So he makes me, kind of looks at me like I got to put the armrest down like it's a fucking crowded flight. Get the fuck out of here. So I moved. I fucking moved. He sits there and there's a beat and they start talking. They pull out their phones and I grab my programs and I grab my water and I grab my fucking chocolate orange and I get up and I walk. Now the back row, I should tell you, it's bisected because in the middle, it has sections for handicap. So there's two regular seats and then 3 spaces around them because with anybody in a wheelchair, they would fucking stick them up there. Because again, if you're in a wheelchair, you don't want anybody behind you because someone's going to shove you down the fucking stairs like Richard Widmark in an old school movie that I once saw where he dumped an old lady down a fucking flight of stairs. I think it was Richard Widmark. I hope it was. Mad Dog Cole? Might have been Mad Dog Cole. That might be the movie it was in. I don't know. Google all this stuff. But I get up and I move. And it's so funny. I move and I walk past the chasm of the handicapped and I go sit on the right screen right. And as I walk to move, they murmur to one another and then just start laughing. And kind of like disapprovingly clucking at me for moving. And in my head I wanted to go, man, I'm not the fucking person in the wrong here. Okay? You motherfuckers, you're the quartet of jagoffs who decided to sit fucking next to me on Christmas Eve and weren't even polite about it or kind and didn't even go, man, I'm real sorry about this. They're just like, well, we paid for this seat, so we're going to take it. There's millions of other seats in the entire fucking theater. So you'd rather sit next to me through the entire, it's a 2-hour movie. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like I said, I heard them chuckle and cluck disapprovingly and then talk and then laugh because they're young and they don't understand that there's things with personal space and they don't understand that it's better to be polite. And they don't understand that Christmas is a time to say I love you. That's what Billy Squire would tell them. But sure enough, I went over and I watched. And then I sat there myself and I watched Phantom Thread. Thankfully, nobody else came in. Nobody sat in front of me. Nobody sat beside me. And it's a fantastic movie. You got to see it. And I know you're going to say to yourself, well, Mike, this is one of those artsy movies. And yeah, it is. But you know what I like? I like movies with conversations. I like movies where people talk to one another. I like movies where you don't have to use like a space TV to talk to Mo Mantha and find out if he can get you some gas. I mean, and I'm not spoiling. By the way, I don't know why you're talking to Winnipeg Jets defenseman Mo Mantha. I don't know why you're kind of dialing him up. He's got a Star Wars name. That's what that guy does. That's a legit NHL guy. But at one scene, Poe and Finn and a lot of other people with one syllable have to call up Mo Mantha and go, hey, we need gas, man. It's like calling your buddy. Hey, you got a gas can out there in Hoth? Because we're just sitting here in space, man. In space, man. That's me imitating David Bowie. All right, so I watched Phantom Thread, and you got to see it. It's fucking genius. And I know you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't want to pay $17 to watch people argue over breakfast. Maybe you do. Maybe it's classy. Maybe it's beauty porn. Because it's gorgeous clothing and beautiful food and wonderful, the places they live and the restaurants they go to. It's wood and tuxedos and all that life I'll never have because I've just failed. I've left myself adrift and certainly not. Although, there's still hope for me. I still might be able to own my own tuxedo and have my own corner booth at a restaurant and smirk when a gossip columnist comes in to talk to me. I will never, however, have a tough sister who makes my life easier. That's what Daniel Day-Lewis is. That's what Reynolds Woodcock did. And here's my promise I make to you guys. If I ever become successful enough to where I can have my own tuxedo that I own myself, if I ever have my own corner booth at a restaurant, I will legally change my name to Reynolds Woodcock. You're not going to have to argue with me. It won't even be a discussion. I will just become Reynolds Woodcock. I will have a monocle surgically implanted, so it will never fall out of my eye. Although I guess I do want it to comically fall out of my eye when the pores do something wrong. So I can't have it surgically implanted. However, maybe I'll just implant it behind my ear. There you go. So it's always at my beck and my call. And then I can pop it in my eye. And then when Larry Fine does something stupid and Mo hits him with a hammer, boing, I can comically pop the monocle out. But it will not fall to the ground, see, because it's been surgically implanted behind my ear. I am always thinking. If nothing else, folks, I am always thinking. And then Christmas came about yesterday, and I asked, Matt was like, hey, man, come on over for Christmas. And I'm like, hey, they're having spaghetti and pasta. And I said, and if you recall last year, I may have told you, I went there on New Year's Eve, and they said they were having spaghetti, and I went and bought hummus and vegetables. I chopped a bunch of vegetables, made like a little relish tray of my own making with cucumbers, and I bought some pita breads and stuff, and I brought that with some hummus. And then I walked in, and they really did have spaghetti. And you know what doesn't go with spaghetti? Hummus. Oh, my Christ. Unless you're tossing noodles in the hummus. That might be interesting, like a tahini noodle. That might be delicious. But spaghetti with tomato sauce and then a hummus, yeah, that doesn't work. It was just me and the Higgins boys and Gruber over there at the Matt Weinhold house with his lovely wife Carrie. That was last year, and then we watched a scary Christmas movie where Margot Kidder is in peril, and there's like a Santa and scary Christmas. So I was excited to do that again this year, and sure enough, we went, and Kevin Kataoka, brilliant fucking comedian, and Kate was with him. And I don't know if Kate's a wife or a significant other, so I don't want to say Mrs. Kataoka, but it was Kate, who's lovely and brilliant. Kevin was there. Rick Overton, brilliant comedian who, again, this is weird how life takes you, man. Rick Overton was a guy who influenced me to do comedy. When Lenny and I would watch there was a Showtime special with young comedians, and Rick Overton used to do a bit of, on being on helium. And they would like, hey, man, are you on helium? Why, no. He would do this voice, and he made faces. And then he also did an imitation of Bruce Dern, and which, by the way, never again will you see anybody ever do Bruce Dern. But then I bring it up yesterday because they were talking about impressions, and I go, I know a guy who did Bruce Dern when I was a kid and made me want to do comedy. And he was like, oh, you know when I gave up the Bruce Dern impression? When I saw Jim Carrey do the Bruce Dern impression. He goes, I made a face like Bruce Dern. He goes, he became Bruce Dern. He was Bruce Dern. Nothing I could do to get out of it. So Rick Overton is there. Bruce Smith is there, head of the Omnipop agency, who we all know and love because they handle our friend Jimmy Pardo. Me and Matt and Carrie and Bruce and Rick Overton. And then, like I said, Kevin and Kate came over. And then a gentleman named Burton came by. It was fantastic. It was so delightful. And there was spaghetti with a homemade meat sauce. Oh, my God, was it good. And so, like I said, I wrote them and I said, what can I bring? And they said, bring nothing. Well, fuck that. You can't go empty-handed. I went there on Halloween and I brought a bottle of wine, but you can only bring so much fucking wine. And also, I don't drink wine, man. It feels like a disingenuous gift. That almost feels like a no-effort bullshit, here you go gift. So I wanted to cook. I wanted to be active. I wanted to really do something for them. But again, it's such a late date. There's not a lot I can do. Stores aren't open. And then cooking things is a crapshoot. You got to really get some stuff and concentrate. So then I wrote him again. I said, listen, I understand you don't want me to bring anything, but hypothetically, if I were to bring a pie, what pie do you think would be best? And also, with said pie, what topping do you think would work? Would you want a French apple with a vanilla ice cream? Would you want a pumpkin pie with a Cool Whip? Would you want a pecan pie or a mince pie with some sort of creme fraiche? What would you like? Hypothetically, of course. And he wrote me back. And again, because pie I can get. Pie, there's a 4 and 20 by my house. There's a fucking Marie Callender's. I can go get that. And he writes me back, unfortunately a little late in the game. Because again, I will tell you this. I went and saw Phantom Thread. I got out of there about 3:15 a.m. I took a walk. Not in Hollywood. I walked to my car. I drove home, and then I took a walk around my neighborhood on Christmas, because it was still and it was gorgeous and it was Christmas, and I wanted to hear nothing and look at Christmas decorations. And I was alone, and a lot of pensiveness, a lot of reflecting, and a lot of feeling lucky for the fact that I was going to be going to somebody's house the next day, and so I didn't get to sleep until they said they weren't starting until 2:00. So I was like, well, I can get to bed at like 6 or 7 and be okay, because then I can get up by like 12 or 1. So again, I didn't get to bed at like 7:30 on Christmas morning. And then I went to, I apologize, I think the sniffles for some reason. I went to bed Christmas morning, and then I got up, and then I got his email. And his email was like, how about an ice cream pie? I'm not fucking Patty Duke, motherfucker. What am I, the miracle worker? I want to make a Christmas fucking ice cream pie appear on Christmas morning? I can't do that shit. I can't wink and touch my nose and go up a chimney, and all of a sudden there's a Christmas fucking ice cream pie in my hands. That's a rough get, especially Christmas morning. That's like a Baskin-Robbins 2-day in advance deal where you got to order that shit. Or you got to go to the fucking grocery store and get some bullshit ice cream pie that's going to never taste good. I mean, it'll taste good because it's ice cream pie, but it's not going to taste as good as the real ones. And you know me, I'm all about the real ones. So then he said, no, whatever you want to get is great. He goes, ice cream pie would be delicious, but ice cream would be really great. So I'm like, well, I can handle ice cream, but I still want to get a pie. So by the time I get showered, I get out of my house, it's like 3:15. I go to 4 and 20. Hey, they're closed. I get a Marie Callender's. Hey, they're closed. They don't have any more Christmas pies. So I'm fucked. So I go to Ralph's grocery store, which is open until unbelievably like 10 o'clock that night, which shocked me. And I roll in there, and I don't know what anybody wants. So you know me. I'm an overbuyer. I'm that dude. So I buy a pumpkin pie, standard size, and then I get a mini apple pie and then a mini blueberry pie because I want to cover the gamut. And then I went to go buy ice cream, so I bought 2 pints of Cherry Garcia and 2 pints of truffle kerfuffle Ben and Jerry's because you can't just get a half gallon because then everybody's like kind of stuck to that one flavor. So and I didn't want to get 4 separate pints. Because what if one of them's a big hit and then that one's gone and there's 3 pints leftovers? I figured I would get 2 because Cherry Garcia is the staple. That's your home run. That's your everybody's going to love it Ben and Jerry's ice cream. That one's the fucking badass. If you get too much into the chocolate peanut butter and all that shit, then you're getting specialized. Or you wind up with a theater floor ice cream that's got all the pretzels and shit in there. But that's literally an old joke that I used to tell a million years ago. I joked about how Ben and Jerry's just kept stuffing everything into their goddamn ice cream. I said, I actually bought theater floor. It's got, wads of chewed gum and fucking discarded popcorn kernels. I bought white trash. It's got Velveeta and a ketchup swirl. I mean, a million jokes from a million old-time years ago. But Cherry Garcia is your home run, and then I went truffle kerfuffle because it was a vanilla but with some stuff and some salted caramel in there. And I go, well, that'll go well with the pies. So I grabbed that. I show up at Matt's house. They let me in. They made the pasta with a meat sauce, which was unbelievably delicious. Rick Overton is there. He brought his own pasta and his own sauce. I don't know if he's worried about being poisoned by people or the government. I hope not, because he's a treasure and we need to keep him around. So Rick was there. He was a lovely man. I saw him. I went and got a plate of pasta with homemade meatballs with a pork and a Hawaiian bread crumb inside. Oh, so delicious. And then Matt goes, I made an old family recipe I think it's called Prawns My Bar or Prawns Myanmar. I don't know. I didn't quite get the full name. But it was like a curried shrimp in a curry butter type of like thin oil sauce. Holy fuck, dudes. So I made a plate of spaghetti. I put the shrimps on top. She's like, well, that's more of a curry thing. And I go, well, I love curry. I don't care. It'll actually blend in. And it really did. It was this delicious curried shrimp with fucking spaghetti and meatballs and garlic bread. And dude, then we sat there and we talked and we had fun and we joked and we had a great time. And then we watched this old schooly like YouTube short with Kate. She's a walking encyclopedia like Matt. I've done Monster Party if you've heard it on there. He loves old monster stuff. They know old movies, fucking character actors. So Kate's the same way, man. So she found this YouTube thing. It was these 2 kids who got dropped off at their grandma's house and then grandma tried to kill them. And it was hosted by like an old horror host. He's a skeleton. And there's a quartet of vultures who were wound up talking and stuff like that, which was hilarious. We watched that. We actually tried to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special, which I've never seen before. Okay, I've heard so many bad things about it, but I've never seen it. So we throw it on, we watch a half hour of it, and then finally everybody's like in revolt. We're like, Christmas is over because we hate everybody because what the fuck is this garbage? Who thought that was good? I know I'm late to the party on this. I'm sure you guys know all about it. But the first 15 minutes is just Chewbacca's family talking in Chewbacca talk with no subtitles. You don't know what the fuck they're saying. I mean, that's all that's it. No subtitles. And then they're all watching like TV on these Ataris Chewie and Han are in space running from the Empire, but Luke is in some garage with R2. And then Princess Leia and C-3PO are in a very pristine white place, but none of them are in the same place. The whole movie takes place at Chewbacca's treehouse. And then Art Carney and Harvey Korman show up. And B. Arthur's in it. We didn't even get the B. Arthur. We turned it the fuck off. I was laughing because Art Carney's in it. I'm just like, and it's all show business people in the room. So we're like, does Corman audition for this? Or is he just an ask? Like, if they like, Harvey, you got to do this. He's like, yep, doesn't matter. He doesn't fucking care. He's collecting paychecks at that point. And I will tell you this, they're all pros. Harvey Korman commits to his bit. He's a chef with 4 arms. Oh, that's a reveal. I shouldn't give it away. But whatever, he's a TV chef. So like Mrs. Chewbacca is watching her on TV and Corman's making some fucking weird fish, of course, in the fucking Star Wars universe. And, but he commits to the bit, man. He just goes full. He's not winking at it at all. He's fully immersed in this cooking bit. He does that. Art Carney is like a space junk dealer, I guess. I don't fucking know. So then we of course, we're making fun of that. We're making honeymooners jokes. It was just fucking great. So we saved it by making fun of it. But Jesus Christ, that was a fucking hard sit for 30 minutes. By the time we turned it off, the Empire has shown up at Chewbacca's house and Art Carney is trying to negotiate. And we said, get this off. Turn it the fuck off like now. And Luke Skywalker has so much makeup on. He looks, you know what he looks like? He looks like an ice cream cake of himself. That's how it's all frosted and crazy like you'd find in a freezer. That's what he looked like. I should have bought him and brought him to the goddamn party because it's just this weird level of makeup, like eyebrows and shit. It's crazy. Like Bobby Flay now is on some show. Bobby Flay has just gotten old quick, and HD is not being kind to him. And he's got a forest of eyebrows above his fucking eyes that just look ridiculous. I keep waiting for Artie Johnson or some other fucking Vietnam vet to poke their head out because they've been trapped in there for fucking ever. By the way, I don't mean to equate Artie Johnson with Vietnam vets. I'm sure they were brave and they did a really fantastic job, and Artie Johnson was a comedian, but You know the reference. You know what I meant. And if you do have a problem with that, well, you know what? I find that very interesting, honestly, because you've been listening for so goddamn long. So we watched the Star Wars special. Then we watched there was a segment of an old Tales from the Crypt, but not like Tales from the Crypt, the TV show, but an old one from England that fucking Matt has with Joan Collins. And there's a lecherous, crazy Santa trying to break into her house. And then we watched a movie called Christmas Evil, which John Waters, I guess, claims is one of the best Christmas movies. And it's about a guy named Harry. When he's a kid, he sees Santa in his house. And he's like, yay. But then he goes back downstairs and Santa's banging his mom. And it turns out it's like the dad, but he doesn't realize it. He really thinks it's fucking Santa. So he's traumatized. And so then he grows up traumatized. And he wants to be Santa Claus to right the wrongs of the Santa who, and look, I don't want to give too much away, but he's a traumatized guy who grows up and then things ensue. I don't want to give it away, but you should watch Christmas Evil if it's on your Netflix. We were stunned at how actually it turned out. Like, it turned out good. And then you'll glimpse, there's like 3 or 4 actors you'll recognize, because this was made in like 1980. But you'll see these people like playing, just these side roles. You're like, oh my God, I know who that is. Holy fuck, I know who that is. And it's this junky movie filmed in Jersey. But it was fun. I mean, I would make it a Christmas tradition or just watch it now. What the fuck? We exchanged gifts. We didn't exchange any gifts. I brought what I brought. And they gave me a fucking gift. Here's my gift. Listen. Hear that noise? That's me turning on my keychain lightsaber / flashlight that I received as a gift. Star Wars is prevalent in my Halloween. Or in my Christmas as well. But yeah, so it's that was a nice little gift. So it blinks, and then it also goes solid light, and then it turns off. So that's me banging it on there. That's my little lightsaber keychain. There's the keychain part. And then we hung out. We watched that. We had food, and boy, did we have the best time. I love camaraderie, and we were just in a warm house with a fire going and Christmas music, and then watching shows, and then laughing because Matt makes me fucking laugh so hard, and I'm funny, and they think I'm funny, and they're so gracious to have me there. I mean, it's fantastic. So I had a fantastic Christmas with friends. I was excited because people were writing me, and they were like hoping I weren't alone. Pat texted me, he's like, "I hope you're not alone." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm going to Matt's house." It was awesome. So that was my Christmas, but Christmas extends into today, folks. Because a lot of you out there have thought of me for Christmas. You've sent me cards. People have sent me gifts. And I have not opened a one. I have left them here to open on the air with you. Now, I used to do this when I did it last year. I think I did it with Lily. And that was appropriate because Lily got some stuff. And there was people going crazy. And she was having fun. And we were laughing at the gifts. Now, I hope this isn't stagnant podcasting, where I'm just going to be opening shit and telling you what I got. But people are nice enough to think of me and send me stuff. I want to give them a shout out on the air. I want to talk about it. I want to open it and be surprised on the air with you guys. So you'll actually hear me enjoying your gift. Well, I don't know if I can play with it, if it's a toy or whatever the fuck. But I'm kind of shocked at how many people have thought of me. You're all so cool, and I appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm going to open some stuff now. And if that's a thing, you can turn me off and find me later or whatever the fuck. But first, I have a card from our good friend. She's from Colorado. And she's actually in town here in L.A. for Christmas. And she wrote me, she's like, "Hey, are you around?" And I said, "I am not." I said, my schedule's wide open, except for I'm going to be driving. And she's like, and then here's my favorite part. She's like, "Well, I'm completely full. I guess I won't see you." I'm like, "What the fuck did you write to see if I was available?" But she went to the La Brea Tarp. It's our friend Ellen from Colorado. So you're going to hear this. We're going to open her card. Let's do that. And pull it out. Hold on. It's a card. Oh, look, it's Santa. And Santa has a boy on his lap. And then there is a praying woman next to them, it looks like. And let's open it up. It says, "Warmest holiday wishes, Mike. Have a Merry Christmas. And here's to a healthy, happy New Year. Love, your internet chum, Ellen." Ellen is fantastic, and she thinks of me all the time. And she's also included a gift inside the card. Ellen, you are the best. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And especially near the end of the month, this always comes in handy. And I'm going to Japan. This will absolutely come in handy. Thank you, Ellen, for thinking of me. Your card is very appreciated, as is all of your contexts, or your texts and your contacts, I should say. Now, here's a card from a gentleman named, let's check it out. It's Matthew Henshaw. He's a good friend of ours. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Matthew. Now, this isn't exactly funny, but again, it's kind of heartwarming as an outreach, and I'm thanking people for their things. Matthew Henshaw he lives in Illinois. Oh my gosh. And he's got this. It's a bell with some cardinals on it. There's a flag in front of a church. It's very, very patriotic. Mike, warm-hearted wishes for a peaceful holiday. Hope you have a great holiday season and best wishes for a successful 2018. I care. Everyone cares. The Henshaws, Matt, Jenny, and Rumi. I believe Rumi's a cat. I think. I hope. Or Rumi could be an Indian exchange student who's staying with them for the winter. I'm not sure. I don't commit everyone's pets to memory or exchange students. But again, Cardinal, Bell, warm-hearted wishes for a peaceful holiday. That's the Henshaws, Matt and Jenny. And of course, Rumi. Thank you, Matt. You're so nice to think of me. That is the coolest of all time. Now, I'll just open this because this is our good friend. This is, I've talked about this guy. And I need to correct something as well. Remember when I told the Ric Flair story a couple of weeks ago? And I went to Super Clash, and I was there to see Ric Flair take on Magnum TA in a 25-minute battle, and it was fucking amazing. Well, I mentioned I had gone with my friend Kevin. It turns out Kevin, I thought Kevin may have gone, but it turns out I had gone with my friend Larry and my friend Rich. And Larry wrote me, he's like, hey, dude, I went to Super Clash with you. And I was like, fuck, god damn it. Because it was enough for me to conjure the memory of going. And how weird is it that I can remember the entire fucking match, but I can't remember who's sitting right fucking next to me. I can remember the interview, and I can remember what Flair wore, for fuck's sake. But I don't remember that fucking Larson's there with me. But this is from Larry Larson. He's in Arizona, and it's the Larson family. Larry, Lisa, Lauren, and Aiden. Will they have signed my card? I don't know. Let's open it up, and let's pull this out. Hold on. Merry Christmas 2017. And there's Larry, Lisa, Lauren, and Aiden all on the photo. Look at Larry looking good. And they're all looking good. Lisa, Lauren, Aiden, he could probably use a sandwich, but the rest of them look fantastic. Thank you, Larson family. And also Larry texted me yesterday to wish me a Merry Christmas. So I got a card and a text from Larson. So if you didn't get me either one of those things, the fuck, man? Why are you lagging behind the Larson? You can't lag behind the Larson. Nobody wants to lag behind the Larson. All right, I'm going to open this. This is not really a card from a listener, but this is a gift from the Screen Actors Guild. Ooh, that's right. I don't know if you know this. I'm in the union, folks. The Screen Actors Guild sends out screeners so I can vote on the SAG Awards. And I know some of the screeners that are coming. Let's see which one I've got here that I can watch in the comfort of my own home. That's another thing that made a decision for me when I was going to see the movies. I knew that I was not going to get a screener for Phantom Thread, and I might get one for The Post. However, dear SAG-AFTRA member, well, you could have remembered my name, you fucking jerks. We are pleased to provide you with the enclosed DVD screener of I, Tanya. That's right. Allison Janney is nominated, starring Margot Robbie, Sebastian Stan, Allison Janney, Paul Walter Hauser, Julianne Nicholson, and Bobby Cannavale. Produced by Brian, Stephen, Margot, and Tom. Written by Stephen and directed by Craig. I stopped saying names because you don't want to hear those. They don't want me to pirate this. So there's a warning. Screeners are distributed for my personal viewing. Do not circulate or transfer. I am fine. I will keep them. Thank you, Neon. Neon Awards at neonrated.com. I shouldn't probably give that out. That's if you only have issues with your screener. Do not write them. But it's Neon, neonguilds.com. Thank you for thinking of me and giving me I, Tanya. And there's Margot Robbie in a skating outfit with a cigarette in her mouth. She's a powerhouse looking fucking fantastic. I can't wait to watch this movie. I heard good things. I heard it's very funny. So I'm going to count that as a Christmas gift. Even though they want me to vote. They want my vote and they want me to look at it. And they're telling me that Allison Janney's a powerhouse and Margot Robbie is too. Well, I'll be the judge of that as I hook up my Blu-ray and unplug my Roku and I watch some I, Tanya. Let's get back to the personal gifts, folks. This is a gift from the Bennett family. This is a card from Providence, Rhode Island. Now, I'll tell you this envelope is sealed with, spit, but also with tape. So there must be something super valuable in here. So I got my throat. There is something. Hold on. There's two things in here. I'm going to open this up. Looking back on our blessings of 2017, wishing you a wonderful year ahead with love, the Bennett family. And it's got all the photos of Drew and his wife and his children. He's got two beautiful children and a beautiful wife. Drew, beautiful might be a stretch, but he's a good-looking fella, certainly. I should put a photo. I took a great photo of me and him at an In-N-Out Burger. He was here a couple of weeks ago, and I had lunch with him. And I made us make mean faces, but that was when I still had no beard. I had not grown my goatee back, which I now have. Listen. There's my goatee. Looking back on our blessings from 2017, wishing you a wonderful year ahead with love, the Bennett family. Andrew, by Drew. Drew also has a YouTube channel. Go watch all of his YouTube stuff. He reviewed caramel M&Ms because I always talk about I should be reviewing things. Well, he reviewed caramel M&Ms and he gave me a shout out in that video. I think I mentioned that on the show here before, but it was very nice of him. Andrew has been a supporter forever. He actually bought the Kickstarter Boston dinner and he ate all the avocado, that fucking prick. But he made up for it here, folks, because he has sent me a $25 gift certificate to AMC Theaters. Thank you, Drew. You are fantastic. Drew Bennett, and I'm sure this is from his wife and children as well. The whole Bennett family thought of me and gave me this gift certificate to AMC Theaters. I will go see movies. Now I can see The Post. Now I can go see those any movie. Well, 2 movies certainly for $25, and that's going to be fantastic. Or perhaps I could see 1 movie and then just buy a bunch of fucking concessions. I don't want to bring chocolate oranges to every goddamn show. But that's fantastic. The Bennett family, thank you for thinking of me. And you know what I will not see? I, Tonya. I will not go see that at the movies. But perhaps there will be something else that I will check out. So thank you so much, Andrew, and the rest of your family, or Drew. Because my brother Andy I call him Andy. He wants to be Drew. And so now I have to call him Drew, even though I've called him Andy my entire life, which is fine because respectfully, that's what he wants to be. But now I don't know. So now I call Andrew Bennett Drew Bennett because I can't remember if he wants to be the same, whatever the fuck. All right. So here's another card for Mr. M. Schmidt. Let's open this up. And I can't read the name here in the back because it looks like Metzinger. I don't know. Dude, it's another Cardinal card, a different Cardinal card. Cardinals must be a big time Christmas bird. Season's greetings. Oh, it's Metzinger. There you go. To Mike, wishing you all the splendor of the season with a new year filled with happiness. This is from our friend Scott Metzinger. Thank you so much, Scott. This came from all the way from New York. And I will say this about Scott, and I've mentioned it on the air here. You know, I have Blind George. Blind George is a fan. And then Scott also is blind. And I started calling him Blind Scott. And he kind of wrote me. He's like, Blind Scott's weird. And so I stopped calling him Blind Scott. But now he's signed this card Blind Scott. As if he would think I would not know there were other, I thought there were other Metzingers who were bothering me. And nobody's bothering me. Everybody's sending me nice things. But Scott is, so he's Scott. He's no longer Blind Scott, but he signed himself as Blind Scott. So I guess that's who he is. But thank you, Scott Metzinger, for thinking of me with the cards. And that is all of our cards. That's our envelopes. But now we have stuff. Now, is this going over? I don't know if it is. I hope it is. It's a Christmas show. We're taking I gave you an hour-long show, and now we're indulging ourselves with Christmas gifts because I got boxes and shit to open, dudes. Like this one right here. This is an envelope, and I got to use scissors probably to open this, right? It looks like it's from Icy Co. I don't know who that is. Someone in Kentucky. All right, you can hear me. It's a scissors as I cut open this envelope, and I don't want to. It's paper. I don't want to fucking destroy it. All right, so let's open this. And pull out this piece of paper and this thing. All right. It's a gift. Does it have a note? Holy shit, it's also from Drew Bennett. Mike, you'll probably think someone is stupid, but it might be fun to just use and occupy your mind with nothing from time to time. It's our friend Drew Bennett. He sent me, holy fuck, dudes, he sent me an infinity cube. Now, I don't know if I should have this, because now this means Thanos is going to come to my apartment and beat the fuck out of me. I can't have that. The Avengers are not they take Christmas off. If Thanos shows up and steals this, I am fucking ruined. I don't know what this is. I will never think it is stupid. You are people do that all the time, where they're like, dude, I know this is dumb. I'm sorry that I'm calling you and telling you that you're great. No, fuck, it's not stupid. I do this so you'll tell me I'm great. I do this so you'll send me an infinity cube. That's exactly why I do this fucking show. When I started this show in 2007, I think, I said to myself, you know what? I fucking can only hope somebody sends me an infinity cube someday. And look at this, Drew, you came through with one. Now I got to try to open this box. All right, I've opened it, and because I'm going to really open up the infinity cube and see what it looks like. Because I know it's awesome, even though Drew has already told me it's dumb. All right, here we go. Whoa, okay. Oh, okay. It's just it's a weird thing where it's like a Rubik's Cube, but it's all one color, and you just play with it in your hands. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. You know who's going to be really happy about this? My cock. Because it'll stop getting yanked all the fucking time. You know what? I've now gone from jerking off 3 times a day to 2 times a day, courtesy of Infinity Cube. Thank you, Drew Bennett, for Fidget Cube Toy. I look forward to using this often. It will go right now. It's going to go over here on the desk by the Funkos. He will sit there. All right, cool. So I throw that envelope on the ground because I'm a good person. And all right. So now let's move on. Here's another box. This box is from North Las Vegas. Ooh, hold on. This box was leaving Las Vegas recently. Perhaps there's a naked Elizabeth shoe in this box. It is not heavy enough for that, unless she's lost a lot of weight. I mean, a whole lot of weight. All right, I'm listening. I'm popping. Listen, and then. Okay, sorry about that. All right, opening, pulling this. All right. Oh my, you know what? This is unheard of. Mike, enjoy your gift. I hope that you enjoy this as part of your Joker collection. Guess who this is from, folks? You're not going to ever guess in a million fucking years. Perhaps you are. Drew Bennett! Why is he? Didn't I just say what a fucking fantastic guy he was, and he was the best, and we went to lunch, and he's the coolest? But here's what he got me. It is. Oh, all right. Look, if I thought that fucking Infinity Cube was a time waster that he wrote on a sheet, dude. This is. First of all, it's appropriate for ages 6 to 12. So, I mean, that's absolutely me. Clearly, that's going to be me. But this is a Lego Joker Battle Training set. On the picture, it's got Batman, and then there's the Joker with the little thing. Yeah, because I do not have a Lego Joker, so that's amazing. But holy, dudes, this is daunting. I mean, like, listen, the amount of pieces in this fucking thing. Like, it actually says there's 49 pieces. I think those pieces were shattered into smaller pieces because this is too much. I'm not a building dude. I mean, I can follow directions, as I've mentioned many times. I guess this will put this to the test because I will have to put together this Lego Joker Battle Training set and put him here with the other Jokers on the table, the other Funko guys. Fuck, Drew, you're going above and beyond. You sent me a card and an awesome Infinity Cube. I'll tell you what. The good news, though, is Thanos does show up to get the Infinity Cube. I've got the Joker here to help me battle him, for fuck's sake. I have plenty of Jokers. I now have 7 Jokers on the table. All right, and now this is another box. Like, I'm just going to preemptively say thank you, Drew, for whatever this is. This box is taped in a weird fashion, so it's going to give me a second here. I got to try to carve it open. This is not good radio, probably. All right, hold on. I've cut some of the tape. I've cut this top. By the way, don't ever drag the scissors toward you like I'm doing, because then you'll wind up stabbing yourself on the air and having to rush to the hospital. All right, so that is opened. All right, and let's tear that. Sorry, folks, this is loud. All right, so let's open this. And this, I don't even know what this is. All right, hold on. This is strange, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks like 2 plants. Like 2 flower pots. Shipped to Mike Schmidt, Throw Punch Media. It literally is. It's holy fuck, dudes. It is grow your own scorpion peppers. Kit includes cocoa fiber organic container, expanding soil pod, seeds, and instructions. Can be grown anywhere. Just add water. See? These people know I'm trying to get healthy. So they reach out because then the other planter, grow your own cherry tomatoes. Non-GMO and organic, easy to grow. Now, who are you to say non-GMO? Well, I might spray some poison on these motherfuckers. It's my house. I can do whatever the fuck I want with these tomatoes, right? Kit includes cocoa fiber organic container, expanding soil pod, seeds, instructions. Can be grown anywhere. Just add water. Folks, I'm a farmer. I'm a goddamn farmer. You thought I was useless. But here I sit with a Lego set to build and a bag of goddamn fudge to chow down. I should tell you that Matt gave me that when I left his house. And by the way, nobody ate the pies. I should talk about Matt's. Nobody even opened my pies. Because also, Carrie had made a homemade fucking German coffee cake that they sent me home with a huge chunk of, like a cranberry Wusterkuchen or whatever the fuck. And it was so goddamn delicious. I ate 2 pieces of it there. And then they said, hey, bring home this fucking slab of it. Because she made a couple of Wusterkasches. And sure enough, I brought it home. So nobody even opened my pies. They're fucking just sitting there. And the ice cream, I think I broke into 1. And they might have had some of the truffle and some of the cherry. But fuck, dudes. Now here's the mystery of this fucking thing. It doesn't say who sent this. Because it's from a place in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. And the return address thing says the name is Home Sweet Homegrown, Robin Jacko. I mean, maybe Robin, who owns Home Sweet Homegrown, maybe he's the fan of the show and he decided to send it to me. I don't know. But Robin, thank you. That's amazing that you would send this. And I'm going to be, and now I'm in the farm. Now I gotta hope. I've got 3 other packages here. I gotta hope there's some fucking overalls in there and a pitchfork because I'm Whistler's fucking father at this goddamn point. But it doesn't say who sent this. It does say there's a username. And I'm just gonna give it because what the fuck? This username, all one word, folks. Fish sticks suck. That's who sent me. Grow your own scorpion peppers and grow your own cherry tomatoes. Fish sticks suck, and there's an X in sticks. So I shouldn't be giving that away. You could be Googling that or whatever. But it's a cherry tomato, grow your own cherry tomato kit, and a grow your own scorpion pepper kit. That is fucking fantastic, folks. I am in business. And here I am again. I'm eating fudge and all sorts of bullshit yesterday. It's time to get healthy. And you know how you get healthy? You grow your own fucking scorpion peppers and you choke those down. That's going to be fantastic. Thank you, Fish Sticks Suck. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you, everybody who's sent things so far that I've mentioned. Now, I'll tell you what, I've got other stuff over here to open. So I will, let's get this one really quick. This came all the way from Birmingham, Alabama. and the initials on it are JT. I don't know if JT is the person who sent it or the person who is the third-party seller. I'm unsure. But so far, we've got so many packages from a Drew Bennett. We've got Grow Your Own Cherry Tomatoes and Scorpion Peppers. We've got a Fidgety Infinity Cube. We've got a Build Your Own Lego set. I got a lightsaber from yesterday. Jesus Christ, folks. You have no idea. And I got to be honest with you. I was cleaning off my desk the other day. I found so much cool shit that you guys have sent me that I've forgotten about. Who made me a wallet? Are you still listening? Who made me a 40-year-old boy wallet? I don't even think I put a picture of that fucking thing on. I got to put that thing online. Somebody made me a 40-year-old boy wallet with a little Schmitty on it. It's fucking amazing. I don't use it again because I'm a grown-up, but still I found it and I went, fuck, somebody actually took the time to make this for me. Somebody, Tom Van Duzen, sent me his story, like a graphic novel that he said I inspired him to fucking to write. We talked about this. You guys are unbelievably incredible, and I can't thank you enough for all of the good things you've done for me, including this, which I'm opening right now. This is... Hold on. No, weirdly, this is open, okay, which is strange. And there's no... All right. This is the And Now for Something Completely Hilarious collection, and it is 3 DVDs. It is a 3 DVD set. Oh, dudes. With clearly one of the top 10 funniest movies of all time in the history of movies, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which I've never watched. Terry Jones, I've never seen that movie. And then Monty Python's And Now for Something Completely Different, which I don't know if that's the live show or if I don't know. But it's all 3 DVDs in one box set. And I know for a fact, like, because I thought there would be a slip in there. I'm pretty sure this is from Jamie Ditterline, who's a fan of the show. And she said there was a third-party seller who was selling it because it was supposed to be delivered on the 18th, and then it wasn't. They came here and they left a slip, and then there was a lot of back and forth where they came back on the 20th and then the 22nd. Regardless, I finally have it in my hands right now, and now for something completely hilarious. 3 DVDs, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Baron Munchausen, which of course has Uma Thurman in it, and I believe Eric Idle, and then Monty Python's And Now for Something Completely Different. This is fucking amazing. More things to watch, along with I, Tonya. And I do not have to use Drew's card to see that because now it is in my house. They have been sent right to me. I have Monty Python DVDs courtesy of our friend Jamie and whoever JT is in Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you, everybody. That is so nice of you to think of me. Now, look, again, I don't know if this is quality radio, but it's Christmas. I wish I could have been there while you opened your things, and I would have sat patiently while you did. I would have expressed joy. I would have pasted on a smile on my face and pretended to like you until we got to the breakfast pastries. But now you can do the same thing for me, motherfuckers. That's how it works. Because all of these people have thought of me, and you thought of me, I'm sure, on Christmas, because people wrote me online and wrote nice things, and I appreciate it. All right, this package, I don't know what this is, but I can tell you that this person wrote me to get my address and said they'd been listening forever, and they felt like they wanted to give me something for Christmas as a way to show their appreciation. Now, this is a cool-ass package. Like, I want to take a picture of it, but without the address, but it's... You know, this guy's got really good handwriting, first of all. Second of all, he put a bat sticker, like a Batman logo, but just a solid black sticker on the front. This is our friend Troy Drath. I should tell you his name. He's in Minnesota, and he sent this. And then on the back, there is also a Batman sticker, like a Christian Bale Batman sticker, in addition to this bat on the front. So let's see what Troy has sent. I'm wondering if there might be some Batman theme going on with this because of the stickers on the outside. Unless he just sends all of his packages with a Batman theme. That might be it. What if Troy is Batman? I may have stumbled onto a fucking surprise. Troy, if you're Batman, stop putting Batman stickers on your packages because you're just going to lead people right to your lair, your bat cave. I'm trying to run a knife through this because this is thickly wrapped. This is done very well. This isn't one of those things I can cut with a scissors. I have to run the scissors across the top and then open it because there's a lot of tape and stuff. You can hear me ripping and tearing and ripping and tearing. All right, hold on. We're opening, we're pulling, and then we're getting this. We're sliding it out. And dude, you got to be kidding me. Is there anything I don't want to throw away because there's a slip here? He's been an unbelievable person here. He gave me. All right, I'm just gonna. This is the 37th anniversary collector's edition of the 1980 World Champions Phillies. Disc 1, it's got the team that wouldn't die on Glory Days. Disc 2, it's got the 1980 NLCS Game 5, which was a ridiculous game against the Astros back and fucking forth. And then Disc 3 is 1980 World Series Game 6. Steve Carlton on the mound and Mike Schmidt singling in 2 runs to give him a 2-0 lead early, and a lead that they held, and they wound up winning the goddamn World Series when I was 13 years old. And they actually won that game. I believe 4-1 was the final in the last game. The team that wouldn't die, Glory Days, original game broadcast. These are the original game broadcasts, dudes, of 2 games. The NLCS Game 5, ridiculous. Manny Trio winning it. Gary Maddox catching dudes, I'm so happy right now. So this is the Tug McGraw on the cover, although I don't know why Mike Schmidt's not on the cover. Hold on, in the back, there's Luzinski, there's Bob Boone and Pete Rose doing the juggling pop-up. Oh, there's Schmitty. Okay, it's Steve Carlton, there's Dallas Green holding the trophy, and then there's Gary Maddox holding up the ball that he caught to send him to the World Series. There's Tug McGraw in color, and then there's Mike Schmidt right there. And I think I'm going to guess that's either him hitting the home run against Montreal that put them into the playoffs, or that might be him hitting the home run off of Dennis Leonard in Game 3 in Kansas City. But holy fuck, dude, the fucking Phillies are the best, and I now have this fantastic collector's edition. It was the 25th anniversary, but now he crossed it out and he wrote 37th anniversary. Thank you. That's incredible. Troy Drath, thank you. And then he was nice enough to include another, like a little side gift here in the memo section. He wrote, not nearly enough for 10 years of entertainment. And dude, you're amazing to think of me at all. Thank you. I'm going to take the tape off of this, and hopefully my bank doesn't yell at me. But thank you, Troy. And I don't want to say your significant other's name. She's on her name's here too, but I don't know if she's sending it to me. Although when he wrote me, he was like, I think he was the one who said, I'll laugh at your show, and my wife will be like, what the fuck is going on in there? So perhaps I shouldn't say her name. But thank you, Troy Drath, thinking of me. And also maybe I shouldn't say he gave me a gift, because his wife's going to go, what the fuck are you sending this idiot stuff for? Who knows? But man, that is the fucking coolest. He's giving me the Phillies. With the thing is, the full games, you can get highlight films all over the place. All right. But I actually have a DVD of, like, there's a game the Phillies played in 1979 where they beat the Cubs 23-22 in Wrigley Field, and Mike Schmidt hit 4 home runs. I apologize. Mike Schmidt hit 3 home runs in that game. He hit 4 home runs in the 18-16 game a year before that, I think. But yeah, in 1979, the Phillies won 23-22. Kingman hit 3. No, Schmidt hit 4 in that game. Is that the game he hit 4, or did he hit 4 in the 1816 game? Fuck, I don't know. But regardless, the Phillies won 23-22. Schmidt hit, he might have even hit 2 because Kingman hit 3. Who cares? I have that whole game. It's fucking amazing. Phillies were up 7-0 at the end of the top of the first, and then the Cubs score 6 in the bottom of the first. They knock Randy Lurch the fuck out. Donnie Moore with a triple to drive-in runs. Whatever. But to have the full games, that's the key, because you get the actual broadcast and the actual announcers. You get to hear them talk. And that game with the Astros in Game 5 of the NLCS is such a fucking back-and-forth affair. It's craziness. And the Phillies wind up winning. Del Unser with a big pinch hit. Manny Trio drives in the runs. It's so great. So thank you, Troy, for thinking of me. That's fantastic. And I'm so grateful that anybody would be sending me anything. So now I'm going to grow peppers. I'm going to watch the Phillies. I'm going to watch Monty Python. I'm going to fidget with a cube. I'm going to build the Joker Lego. And then I have one more box here, and I actually got this box like 2 weeks ago, and it's a listener, a friend of the show, our friend Chuck, who's the coolest. I've mentioned Chuck on here many times before, our friend Chuck Hudspeth, and I don't want to say where he lives. He's in the South somewhere, but he sent me this gift, and he was like, dude, do not open until the Christmas show. So everybody else, they might have been expecting me to open it when I got it, so I apologize for putting them on hold. However, this particular box, I was absolutely instructed to open on the air. So it could be a fantastic gift, or it could be filled with poison gas. I don't know. It could be him wanting to exterminate me on the air, but I don't know who's going to send the show. Perhaps he'll fly to town and do it himself. But he absolutely instructed me, read this, but please open this on the air. Do not open until the Christmas show. So I said, okay, I will not. So now I got to run my scissors through here. And then there's a thing on the front. Fuck it. I'll put my scissors through that too, the tape on the top, and hope that there's nothing in that. Is that an envelope of some sort? All right, so we've got this. We've got to pry it open. Chuck is just a good friend. He was the guy I told you many times before. He sent me he won the mystery shirt, and he sent me a picture of his daughter wearing it. All right, hold on. I got to get this tape because this is an opening, and then this tape as well. We're sawing through things. All right, so first, there's a card. I'm going to open the card first before I go any further here. Am I close enough to the microphone? See, I'm starting to lose it because this is a giant box and I don't have a lot of room left on my desk with all the shit that I'm fucking opening. All right, let's open the card here from our friend Chuck. Let's slide through there and then open this. And, oh, look at it. It's the beautiful family. And there's that dog I mentioned. Merriest Christmas from Chuck, Michelle, Lauren, Sarah, Oliver, and Molly Hudspeth. Oliver and Molly are that's the two girl, there's a boy and a girl dog, and I don't even know they're just beautiful. I don't know the breed. I think it's just a beautiful breed. I couldn't tell you what they are. I put up a picture once where because he had bought a computer or something from the Amazon page, and he put the dog on the computer. It was such a gorgeous photo, and I put it up, and I was like, buy merchandise or we will kill this dog, because it was a National Lampoon thing. Oh, and on the back, wishing you and your family a wonderful 2018, and there's his beautiful daughters and they're each holding the dogs. Or actually, no, you know what's funny? This is hilarious. Oliver and Molly, I'm assuming, are the dogs. I would hope, because the family gets top billing, Chuck, Michelle, Lauren, and Sarah. So Oliver is a kind of a big kind of a hound. He's wearing a little bow tie. Oh, dogs and clothes rule. And then Oliver's got a little bow tie, and then Molly's super cute, and then she's also in the photo. But then on the back, the daughters are each holding Molly. Like Oliver didn't make the cut for the individual photos. You know why? Because if you looked at this dog, he gives no fucks. He's just got a bow tie and his tongue's hanging out, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's also big, like 3 people have to hold him, so that's probably why he's not in the individual photos. So on the back, Lauren and Sarah are both holding Molly. So that's nice. That's beautiful. Thank you, Chuck. Again, thank you for thinking of me, and it is gorgeous that you would send that. And let's see what is in said box. All right, I'll open, there's that cardboard. And then this, and it says, Merry Christmas, Mike. I saw the magazine, thought of you, couldn't pass it up. The other 2 are signed by the best to ever pick up a microphone. All right, hold on, let's see. Oh, dudes. Unbelievable. I'm pulling things out right now. Oh my God, it's bi-level. The packing on this is bi-level, so let me pull everything out. Holy Christ, dudes. All right, so I'm going to throw this box on the ground. The first thing I've got is an old school wrestling magazine, and the Road Warriors are on the cover of it. Heroes and Villains photo album. Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Sergeant Slaughter. They get side billing. They're in little circles off to the side, and in one big fucking square, there's the goddamn Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk. No title belts, but this is old school Road Warriors before they went into fucking spikes and craziness. They're wearing spiked wristbands, but it doesn't matter. They're just fucking monsters. Heroes and Villains, and it's in a sleeve. Thank you for saving it. On the back page, folks, Wrestling's Main Event presents Blackjack Mulligan. He's wearing a big-ass belt buckle, and he's got a fucking big glove on, probably loaded. That's a loaded glove. I'm going to say that's a loaded glove, Blackjack. Let's check it. You can't iron Mike Sharp that fucking glove. But, I mean, that's fantastic. It is a Heroes and Villains photo album. Wrestling's Main Event presents it, and Chuck Hudspeth has presented it to me. Thank you, sir. You were so nice to see me in that when you picked it up. And then, folks, this is ridiculous. A certificate of authenticity has come with this book, courtesy of Dwayne Ward of Premier Collectibles. Chuck D presents This Day in Rap and Hip Hop History, forward by Shepard Fairey, and this book is personally autographed by Chuck D. And he signs it with the fucking the rifle scope insignia from Public Enemy. And this is unbelievable. Holy shit. You know what? While we're doing it, let's look up what This Day in Hip Hop History goes. Let's think of a year. I'm going to think of, let's go early, because I'm an early old school hip hop guy. So it actually goes year by year. So in 1988, we had talked a little about 1988 earlier, didn't we? What year did we mention earlier? All right, so 1987. Let's go 1987. No, fuck that. I'm going to go even earlier if I can. All right, 1984. Yeah, 1984 is a good year. All right, no, it stops in November. So he legitimately, he's not doing like every single day. This is going to be a bust if I fucking do this. All right, November, 82, 83. Maybe in the, all right, fuck it. 1998. By that, it's too late. I'm sorry, I'm flipping through the book. God, this, I was worried earlier if it was good radio. Guess what? Certainly not now. 88 stops at November 1st. 89. Also, November 14th. Boy, oh boy. What the hell, Chuck? There's nothing on December 26th? How could you not do this for me? Oh, man, that's a cool-ass picture. I don't wonder if Shepard Fairey did that picture. It's a picture of Run DMC. But fucking DMC is wearing a shirt and it says, in their logo, instead of Run DMC, it says RIP JMJ. Holy shit, is that cool. All right, in the back, let's see if there's a bibliography of dates. There is not. There's a bibliography of people. So, regardless, I have a Chuck D autographed signed History of Hip Hop. Here we go. December 28th, Jay-Z released his 4th album, Volume 3, Life and Times of Sean Carter on Rockefeller. That was in 1999, just before the new decade, the new millennium, or whatever the fuck. December 16th, November 21st. Boy, hip hop was they were pretty quiet in December. Like virtually every year, they just shut it down in December. Good for them. Here we go. December 7th. Of 1993, Ice Cube releases his 4th album, Lethal Injection, on Priority. Influenced by the success of the new West Coast gangsta style, Ice Cube brought in producers QD3, son of Quincy Jones, and Madness for Real to bring a whole new sound to his music. And Chuck D jumps in. Oh, dude, that's fantastic. So I now have This Day in Rapid Hip Hop History signed by Chuck D. That's fantastic, along with the magazine from Wrestling's Main Event. And then I have a book here, and this is ridiculous. Dudes, you have no idea how excited I am right now. And it also, I will tie it into another story to tell you. I have here Second Nature, The Legacy of Ric Flair and the Rise of His Daughter Charlotte. And on the cover of it, it's Ric Flair with his title belt and Charlotte with hers. It's the New York Times bestselling author Ric Flair and Charlotte with Brian Shields. And it is signed by Charlotte Flair and signed by the kiss-stealing, wheelin'-dealin', limousine-riding, jet-flying son of a gun himself. What's causing all this? He's got those gators moving up and down as he walks that aisle. 16-time world champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, has signed this book for me. Holy fuck. Chuck D and Ric Flair. And that's why I said on the note, the other two books are signed by the best to ever pick up a microphone. Chuck D and Ric Flair. I'm not arguing. I'm absolutely not fucking arguing with that sentiment. Chuck Hudspeth knows what he's talking about. God damn it. Unbelievable. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for thinking of me. Chuck H. Chuck H gave me Chuck D. Thank you, sir. Man, you guys are the coolest. You guys are all fucking great. Troy, the fucking DVDs. Drew, the fidget spinner, the Infinity Cube, the goddamn Lego set that I'm going to have to build, but I don't think of you every goddamn time. Fish sticks suck. Thank you for giving me the start in my career in farming. And Jamie, thinking of me with those DVDs. Everybody is fantastic. Thank you so much. You've all given me so much and so many things to be thankful for and happy for. And like I said, I was able to spend Christmas with friends. And part of me thought about going, I'm like, well, I'll do Facebook Live and talk to people. But I mean, you guys have families and real people. Nobody wants to fucking sit with me on Facebook Live. But I'll get in there eventually. I'll do more stuff. And I'll actually, you know what, I'll do one with these gifts. And I'll hold them up so you can actually see them. Not just doing this show where I talk about them. But you got to see these books. And you got to see Flair. That's beautiful. And that ties in really well to the fact that, I mentioned I splurged a little bit for myself with Chinese food this year. But I actually bought myself a Christmas gift. Now, with going to Japan and stuff like that, I can't spend a lot of dough. I got to start saving some cash, pay some bills, and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. So I got to make sure those bills are paid because I'm not going to be working. However, I wanted to buy something for myself. So I follow the 16-time world champion Ric Flair on Instagram, and he was hyping the Ric Flair shop. And I've talked about it. I think I mentioned it before. You go to the Ric Flair shop, and there's all sorts of merchandise and hats, and there's a shirt that says "To be the man, you got to beat the man," which is gorgeous. But the shirt I had my eye on for a long time there's just a shirt, and it's called a Flairouette, like a silhouette, and it's literally just a shirt with Ric Flair's hair and sunglasses. It's not him. It doesn't say anything else. It's just Ric Flair's blonde hair and sunglasses, and there's no doubt. You cannot look at it and think it's anybody else but the 16-time world champion, the Nature Boy, fucking Ric Flair. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? To be the man, you got to beat the man. And to be the man, you got to have that fucking shirt. If you want to walk that aisle and style and profile, you need that shirt, goddammit. But even better, they had it as a hoodie. And I'm a hoodie guy. You know that. I'm a fat guy because shirts are overrated. Hoodie, that's where it's at. Because I can wear a hoodie on a plane. I'll wear a hoodie anywhere. As you know, I've got my Bolingbrook High School hoodie, which I love. I've got my Phillies hoodie, my black Phillies hoodie that I love. I've got an ESPN hoodie. I like hoodies, is what I'm saying to you folks. I almost bought an Oakland A's hoodie just because it's green and it's got fucking Oakland A's on it, which I love. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get a Flairouette hoodie. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm biding my time because they're like $60. I'm like, nah, but get it for yourself for Christmas. But at the same time, who knows? And I'm a fat dude. I don't like buying clothes sight unseen. It's hard for me to buy sizes unless I buy really big sizes because then I can just fucking swim in it. Like my Phillies black jersey, black hoodie, it's a 5X. So it fucking hangs off of me. I can live in a 5X. That's totally fine. You're pushing, 3X I can get into, but it looks better when I lose weight in it. But 4X and 5X, I can make those work. But I decide, you know what? He has a deal on Black Friday. Ric Flair's got a deal. He puts out a video on Instagram and he's like, all right, anybody who makes a purchase on Black Friday not only saves 25% with the code 25Flair25, but you're going to get a shout out from the Nature Boy himself on Instagram or on Twitter. Now, folks, how the fuck do I pass that up? Now, I don't think it's a video. Certainly, because he was selling those for $100 a crack or $150 a crack, a video shout out. But I wouldn't give a fuck if the fucking Nature Boy tweeted me out or mentioned me on Instagram. That's all I need. I'm fucking in. And I get the Flarehead hoodie and I save 25%. That's a goddamn deal. Black Friday done. First thing I did that morning was I bought myself a Flarehead hoodie and I ordered it up. And I had to put my @ in the handle and I was like, all right, I'm going to get the shout out from Flare. I'm so excited. So, I get a confirmation from them, and it's like, all right, you bought this 3X Flare hoodie, because, again, it only goes as high as 3X. But it's the Flarehead hoodie. It's going to be shipped. It's on its way. Here's a confirmation number. And, again, Black Friday, I think, was the 26th of November. And I'm excited. And then the 27th comes, and no shout-out. And then the 28th comes, and no shout-out. And then the 29th, and no shout-out. I figure, well, he's pretty swamped. So I actually write the Ric Flair shop, and I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to be a pest here, but is Nate going to be shouting people out because he said he would, and I made this purchase? And they said, yeah, don't even worry about it. It's just they're so backed up. We sold a minimum of 2,000 orders on Black Friday alone. So it's going to take some time. And again, Ric Flair is 64 years old, and he's, as we know, busy signing books for me. So I can't exactly get on the guy's ass to write me a Twitter shout out because I'm not 9 years old. Wait, where's Santa? Where's Ric Flair? I can't be that idiot. So I wait. I go, yeah, that's no problem. So then November 30th comes along. Then we're into December. And December comes along, and I don't have a sweatshirt, and I don't have a shout-out. And I start going to Ric Flair's page, and I click on the Ric Flair shop, and it's gone. The Ric Flair shop is gone. And I go to my receipt, and I click through, and it's disappeared. There is no more Ric Flair shop. So I have to send an email to the only email that I had, and I replied back, and I go, hey, guys, I'm a little nervous because I haven't received a product, I haven't received a shout-out, and not only that, your entire operation has been shut down. You got any information for me here? And I get no response. And I should tell you, they also texted me when I made the purchase, and I text them, and I say, hey, look, are you guys going to address this fact that you're gone, that you've disappeared into the ether with my $48 and no shout out from the Nature Boy? And I get nothing from them. So I send them an email, and it bounces back. But I will tell you this. I do have this, though. In my initial receipt, there's a tracking number, but no USPS tracking number, no tracking number, an order number from the Ric Flair shop. But in addition, at the bottom, it's got, you got to look for these. There's hidden links sometimes, like MailChimp does this, where at the bottom it'll have a link. It'll say to reply, to unsubscribe, or whatever, some different email address. So I go, and it is a completely different address. And I should tell you this, it's something Fifi, and I think it was an AOL address even. Well, the thing is, Ric Flair's wife used to be Fifi the maid in WCW. And in my head, I'm like, there's no way they gave me Flair's wife's email address as a backup. That can't fucking possibly be. So I wrote a note. I said, look, this is the fourth time I'm trying to get a hold of you guys. I've sent, $50 to get this thing. I have a confirmation order number. But the shop is down. Nobody will answer emails. Nobody will answer texts. Do I need to make a dispute at my bank over this? Well, right away. And by right away, I mean like 10 hours, because I sent it at night, and the next morning I woke up, and there was a note, and it was from Fifi the maid at whatever the fuck, right? I didn't want to say what the address was. And all it says is, we are no longer affiliated with Ric Flair's shop. We take no responsibility for any orders. You must contact this email for any inquiries. And she gives me a new email. So the Nature Boy has disavowed himself from his own shop. They've taken it down. It's gone. And I got to be honest, I'm worried about the sweatshirt, but I'm also starting to think I'm not going to get a shout out from the Nature Boy at this point. I think the 16-time champ might not know that I exist. Now, certainly I can tell you this. His wife knows I exist because she replied to my email post haste. So she gives me this alternate email, and I write these guys, and I say, hey, look, because now I get stern, because before I'm like all understanding, but now I'm like, hey, man, I've inquired 5 different times with 3 different email addresses. I need to know if I need to make a dispute at my bank or if my merchandise is ever going to arrive. Please advise. And I just sign my name. And they write me back and they go, we are no longer affiliated with Ric Flair. We are no longer handling his merchandise orders. However, if you did make a merchandise order, we will fulfill it, but it's going to take some time. Please refrain from contacting us because we're doing the best we can. And look, if you're a business and you start telling me we're doing the best we can, get the fuck out of here, okay? You got my money. I made the business purchase. If you're an Etsy store, I fucking get it. But if you're advertising yourself as the Nature Boy's fucking online merchandise depot, fucking get on it and send me a goddamn sweatshirt. So I wait. And I wait another week. Now we're into like the second week of December. And I finally write them and I go, listen, I'm going to have to make a dispute at my bank if you do not, whatever. I write a very stern note. And they don't answer me. But then the very next morning, I get a text, bing, and it says, your Ric Flair merchandise has been sent. I should also tell you this. When I was still being nice, I contacted this store, and then I went and looked for the Ric Flair shop, and the Ric Flair shop is back up and running. But they've become affiliated with a new merchandise supplier, and now, guess what? They have the Flairowette hoodie in 4X and 5X sizes. And I'm like, God damn it. So I actually wrote this dummy store, and I said, listen, because this was before I knew they weren't affiliated anymore. I said, listen, the Flair shop is back up, and they've got 4 and 5X sizes. Can you send me a 5X instead of a 3X? And that was when they wrote me and said, we are no longer affiliated with Rick's shop. You would have to purchase something separately through them, but we're going to fill your order. And then the week went by and I contacted them. And then I got the text that said your order's been shipped. So I waited, and I waited a day, and I waited 2 days, and I waited 3 days. And then finally on the 4th day, I opened my door and there's a package down at the bottom of the door. And I'm like, finally. And I open it up, and I got to be honest with you folks. All of the rigmarole, all of the hassle, all of the waiting, all of the fighting for the Nature Boy sweatshirt and his Flairowette silhouette hoodie to show up on my goddamn doorstep was worth it, because it is a rich black, it is a fantastic color, and the gorgeous blonde hair with the sunglasses. I mean, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful fucking sweatshirt. The only thing is they sent me a 2X. That is the only problem. I mean, everything else is fantastic, except I ordered a 3X a fucking month ago, and you send me a 2X after back and forthing with me 6-7 fucking times? You got to be shitting me. And I was furious. I tried it on. Hey, look, I can squeeze into the motherfucker, but I don't look good. I'm gonna have to lose 50 pounds to look okay in it. I'm gonna have to lose 100 to look good. But it's made of quality material, and the image itself is fantastic, but it just doesn't fit, especially in my present state as I'm molting and morphing into something different, and I've let myself go for a fucking year and a half. I need to fix it, and that's why I need little Schmitty Attaboy Fit Brigade to get me rolling and fit me into my goddamn sweatshirt. So sure enough, man, a 2X. I sit down immediately and I fire off a note. I'm like, listen, you guys sent me a 2X instead of a 3X. Yeah, I need a replacement. I don't even need a refund. I need a fucking replacement. They don't answer me. I wait till that night and I send again. I send a text and an email. I go, listen, second attempt. You finally fill an order after a month. However, it's a 2X and not a 3X. I need you to replace this immediately. A day goes by. I get nothing. I filed a dispute with my bank. So I'm sitting here. I'm the proud owner of a fucking Ric Flair sweatshirt that doesn't fit. And I'm in a dispute. I'm in a goddamn online dispute. I've actually filed a dispute. Citibank, on my behalf, is going after the 16-time world champ to get back my $48. Now, I get to ask a question. How many limousines are you riding in? How many jets are you flying in? How many are you stealing? And how many fucking wheels are you dealing if you're walking around with my $50 in your pocket and you can't make good, Nate? You gotta be fucking kidding me. You want to steal some kisses? I don't care. You want to steal my $50? We got business. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. Be my friend there. Why not? Be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can find me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me there. That's what you do. Let's start over. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can friend me at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. There. That's much better. You guys can go ahead and contact me also at Snapchat and Instagram. Did you know that? You can send me images like our friend Hannah's been doing from Nice, France. And then I send her some images from here. She's teaching me how to speak Japanese because she was in Japan. And she taught me how to say omegashimasu or arigato onegaishimasu. I don't know. I'm trying to learn how to say things. I also learned how to say ohayo nanishimasu, which is like good morning to you or something. I'm learning things. But if you want to teach me Spanish through Snapchat and Instagram, go ahead. I'm at Mike40YOB at both of those places, Instagram and Snapchat. You can find me at Mike40YOB. Remember that Ryan Dirks does all the web stuff for this show. You can find him at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks and be his pal, his friend. Go ahead and friend out him and reach him and find him. Ask him what he's doing with the Drupal nowadays as he works on the farm. Our great friend Giovanni Giorgio Peluso, superfan Gio, not super fan of me, certainly super fan of others. You can find him at all sorts of different places, but mainly at facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. I think he's also at superfan Gio on Twitter. He's got several different podcasts you can find. He handled our YouTube channel, and he did it very well. Every week he updates it. He puts new stuff in there. He harangues me to do video reviews of things, and perhaps I'll review caramel M&Ms. Perhaps I'll have a counterpoint with our friend Drew Bennett. Who knows? But go check out our YouTube channel. It's 40YOB, or the 40-Year-Old Boy channel. It's out there right now on YouTube. All of the shows, the back catalog is available. And that's courtesy of our friend Superfan Gio. And also check out his podcast. He's got Pod Gods. He does all the Loveline stuff for Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew Pinsky. And then he's also got a video game podcast that I don't know the name of, but I'm doing it. Because when he found out I was doing Evo, I talked about it last week because I'm going to Japan to do the Evo thing. Gio's just like, fuck, you're kidding me. You're going to Evo? What the fuck? And he goes, will you do my podcast when you come back? And I said, of course I will. So I'll be doing Gio's podcast once I come back from Japan. And I'll be talking all about Evo on that video game podcast. And I'll tell you what, that's like a month from now, 6 weeks. I promise you I'll have the name for that podcast by then. I'll ask Gio the name. He'll supply me, and I'll be having it, and I'll be able to roll with it and tell you guys exactly where I'm going to be. But when I'm in Japan, I'm going to Evo, and he's excited about it. I'm excited about it. Oh, my Lord, we're all excited about it. He's checking his package. I'm checking my package. That's from The Boys and Company C, an Army movie I watched on cable a billion years ago, and it's still stuck in my brain. Our friend David Hernandez does all of the artwork and all of the music for this show. You can find him all sorts of different places. Go be his friend on Facebook at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. That's a good place to find him and be his friend and find out all of the cool things that he does over there. But I will tell you this. If you're interested in personalized artwork or even artwork that he may have done that you like, go to artbydmh.com. That's artbydmh.com and find our friend David there. He's got Valscapes. He's got Guy Cons. He's got all of that stuff there, stuff that he's painted. He's sold a lot of them. But he does have some pieces up for individual sale, and also you can commission him to do paintings of yourself. If you wanted to paint yourself as a Gaikon posing in a Valscape, he can do that. If you're like, dude, do me a favor, make me look like De Niro, but wearing my hat. Or paint me Al Pacino wearing my school sweater. He can do those things for you. That's the kind of fella he is. You can find him at artbydmh.com and get it, like I said, purchase a pre-made already, like a pre-painted Valscape or a Gaikon if you want to buy one of those pieces. Again, remember the show art. We've got all that stuff here, too, as a matter of fact. If you're interested in any of that stuff, I think we can make duplicates or run off something for you for that. We used to sell it through the website. It was just kind of a hassle, man, because he signed it, and then he had to send it to me, and I had to sign it, Lily had to sign it, and then I'd send it to you guys. It was just like we were paying double postage. It was a weird thing. So people did buy it and supported it, and we liked it, and I was happy to do it. But at the same fucking time, it was just kind of a weird hassle. If we were all in one spot, it would be different. But if you want to buy anything, he can. He's got the pieces. Go ahead and contact him. That's our friend David Hernandez at artbydmh.com. You want a Valscape? You want a Gaikon? You want a pre-packaged piece of art that he did before, or you want him to paint you now in a current circumstance? Find him at artbydmh.com. That's David Hernandez at artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we back? Oh, I apologize. I could not stop staring at the Road Warriors on my Heroes and Villains photo album and then flipping it over to the back and seeing Blackjack Mulligan with his loaded black glove ready to do some damage. Thank you again, Chuck. How are we? Are we good? Are we okay on the other side of that? I don't even know what I just played. I'll be figuring it out as I put the show together later tonight, and then I'll know what was in there. It's going to be Christmassy, though, because you know what? Fuck it. We've got all of December to milk the Christmas stuff. I don't get to play it in November. I don't get to play it in April. Although I mentioned earlier there was that Christmas in April bullshit people do sometimes, or Christmas in July. I don't think I'll ever do that. I won't fall on that conceit, folks. You know what I do? I do a time-sensitive show. I do a time-respective show. I'm not going to bust your fucking balls in September and go, guess what? We're going to talk about Easter. No, fuck that. Easter's an April thing. We talk about Easter then. Nobody talks about nailing Jesus on a cross in September. We're talking about pennant races. Nobody wants to hear about that. Nobody in their right mind is going, holy fuck, let's talk about Jesus and the cross, when possibly the Phillies are chasing down the Nationals for the NL East title. But either way, folks, you know, it was a Merry Christmas. We're all here. We're talking. You know, there's plugs to do. And it's weird for me to get into the plugs again without the show to tell you about. But who fucking cares? You're tired of hearing me bitch about that. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about sponsors of the show. Sponsors like GetTheButters.com. That's right. It's our good friend Jerome up in the mitten. He's out there telling you all the sorts of cool stuff to smooth your beard and make you all scrubby-dubby and get your lotion working. He's the man. Jerome's at GetTheButters.com. You can get bombs and balms and butters and loofahs and sponges and scrubbies and shower caps and everything else that begins with S. Go to getthebutters.com, use the code 40YOB, and buy all that stuff for yourself. And from what I understand, here's what I'm going to say, even though Jerome has probably not approved it. In the week between Christmas and New Year's, everything is half off. That's probably not true. Hold on, fuck. Goddamn, weird yawn attack. Jerome sent a yawn attack from Michigan because I lied about his goddamn website. Damn you, Jerome, and your black magic. I shake my fist at you. Nothing's half off at GetTheButters.com except Jerome's pants. All right, how you doing? He's going to flash you some fucking shaft. That's how it works. Go to GetTheButters.com and use the code 40YOB and see fucking Jerome with half of his fucking cock hanging out. That's the way it works. I don't want to say that that's going to happen. Just go there. You know, it might happen. Let's put it this way. It's always better to say that it might happen. Why? Because it covers my ass. Just in case. There was a beat there because I have spit in my mouth and it's driving me fucking crazy. Hold on, let me try to... and look, we all have spit in our mouths. Everyone has spit in their mouths at all times. And you can even hear mine. I tell you what, when I listen to the show back, all this new equipment is making me sound very spitty. And I'm not that spitty, but there is spit lurking. And there's spit lurking at GetTheButters.com. I'll tell you what, because to avoid the excess spit, normally you'd use that for lube. You just go ahead and lob it into your hand, then run off a batch. You don't have to do that anymore, folks. Go to GetTheButters.com. If you want to get, ladies too, you want to get those two fingers going. Normally you'd spit right on them and go in there. Nah, man, go to GetTheButters.com. Get a balm and a lube and a butter and a balm and a bomb and all that fucking cool-ass stuff. And everybody can have orgasms courtesy of our friend Jerome with half of his pants off. Go to GetTheButters.com. Use the code 40YOB. And I hope you're doing it. I don't know if anybody is. I got to check with Jerome and make sure this is still a deal he wants to have running. I don't hear from Jerome a lot. Again, he's in Michigan with his pants half off. And it's cold there. That's not good. He's trying to survive. The guy's trying to not get frostbite on his goddamn ass cheeks because he's got half of his pants off. He's lurking around. Put your pants back on, Jerome. That's what I say. But go to GetTheButters.com. Use the code 40YOB. Save on everything they've got in the shop. Everything they've got in the store. If they have some sort of dental dam or spit drainer, maybe I'll have that sent to me. I'll purchase that. I'll jump in and use my own code. I know you're saying to yourself, Mike, you can't use your own code. Aha! Bullshit. If anybody on the internet can use their own code, it's me, which is incorrect because I can't use my Amazon code, I was told. If I use my own Amazon code to buy stuff from Amazon. Anger and rage. And I get a Bezos bomb in the mail and it explodes in my face with nails and shrapnel. And it was packed by a Chinese kid in Wisconsin somewhere. Because that's how Bezos handles his dirty business. By the way, Bezos'sDirtyBusiness.com, that was what it was before Amazon. He changed the name because Bezos'sDirtyBusiness.com was not drawing the people he thought it would. Nobody was buying things from Bezos'sDirtyBusiness.com. However, Amazon.com, people are like, oh, yeah, that reminds us of Wonder Woman and big tall chicks. Let's go ahead and buy a bunch of cool stuff from there. Bezos'sDirtyBusiness.com. If he has a precipitous fall, if somehow Amazon craters, which I don't think since he's now like the third richest person on earth, behind a Khashoggi and two Russians on each other's shoulders in a trench coat. If somehow Bezos' Amazon experiment fails miserably, he's got Bezos' dirty business to fall back on. The guy understands the web. He's got to have some filthy porn in his past, so go ahead and throw it up there. And get it started, Jeff. Throw up your own thing first. As a matter of fact, if you're going to do it, throw up a solo video of you stroking it. People want to see Bezos stroke it, and you know what you do? I'm sure you got Amazon. You're thinking to yourself, well, I've got all access to all sorts of lube all over the place. Bullshit, Bezos. Go to getthebutters.com. Use the code 40YOB. And the B is for Bezos, beating it off. That's what I say. It's a couple of B's right there. But yeah, Bezos' dirty business that's not a success yet. It will be, though. Somebody Google that, or not Google it, buy it for me. That's what I say. Listen to me on Christmas Day, or not Christmas Day, but Christmas show. I just got a million gifts and a bunch of cool-ass stuff, and I'm telling you to buy me a web address. Ungrateful. Spit mouth ungratefulness. But go to getthebutters.com, use the code 40YOB. I would be happy, so would you. Did you know that we sponsor a podcast as well, or a podcast sponsors us? That's right. It's Paranoid Strain, The Paranoid Strain, with our good friend, Fearful Jesuit. It's The Paranoid Strain and Fearful Jesuit, not Paranoid Strain hosted by The Fearful Jesuit. He's Fearful Jesuit, and he hosts Paranoid Strain. And like I said, it's episode, I believe, 5 that's up there now. And it's talking about sovereign citizens and Wesley Snipes and all sorts of assholes who are dodging taxes and having the American scams. Go listen to it. It's fascinating work. And again, like I said, the voice work is the best because, Fearful Jesuit, smooth, dulcet tones, writes a fantastic script, and is knowledgeable and brings you information that you previously did not have. Jesus Christ, the spit attacked my mouth. But go check it out. Paranoid Strain is in the iTunes store. And do me a favor, if you're going to listen to not even if, when you fucking listen to Paranoid Strain in the iTunes store, leave a review in the iTunes store saying, hey, 40-year-old boy sent me and we love this goddamn show. Also, make sure you write Fearful Jesuit and get yourself maybe even on the air doing some sort of voice work, some sort of reading a letter or a note of inquiry for yourself and get yourself and your voice on the Paranoid Strain. And have him go ahead and say, hey, these are listeners, real listeners, so he doesn't have to have his daughter pimped out and doing her fucking thing. It's maybe not his daughter. It might be just some girl that happens to live in the neighborhood. I don't want to speculate. And he might not even live in the neighborhood. You know what? Bullshit on this. Fearful Jesuit lives in Cloud City. I can't lie to you folks. Which is Cloud City Flash Gordon? I don't even know. Cloud City popped into my head, and I got no idea why. But that's where Fearful Jesuit resides, sitting on a cottony tuft, staring down at the great unwashed, writing his brilliant scripts and warming up his dulcet voice so he can bring you the Paranoid Strain every other month, I think. Every other month. I don't want to speculate. Look, it's not my show. It's not my schedule. I'm here every week. Paranoid Strain, they actually do some work, so they have to wait and take some time and write a script. But, like I said, contact them. Tell them you love the show. Make sure you tell them that we told you about the show. Also go into the iTunes store and leave a review and make sure that everybody there knows that we told you to review the show and that you love it because it is fantastic. And it takes out a grapefruit spoon and it digs in the dirt until it finds all of the terrible things about this nation and the world and it brings them to light, folks. And you want that, right? Don't you want the great sunshine is the greatest disinfectant. So you want to have that these people drawn into a tribunal. I said drawn into a tribunal and tried by Fearful Jesuit. Wait a minute, this show's getting out of control. Hold on, it's just a podcast. No offense, it's a great one, and he sponsors us, but I don't want to say he has the power to get a grapefruit spoon and dig and find some facts that he can bring some people up on a tribunal. We don't want to do that. And if we start having tribunals in this country headed by a guy named Fearful Jesuit, a guy with a fake name, a nom de plume, or that might, you know what, I gotta be honest, that might not even be a fake name. That dude contacts me, says he's Fearful Jesuit. He could just be fucking Fearful Jesuit. I don't want to go ahead and jump in and think it's something else. All right, so there's our friend, Fearful Jesuit. He's got the show, Paranoid Strain. It's available in the iTunes store. Leave a review saying you love it and saying we told you to say that or that we sent you there to listen. And contact him via the show and make sure you get your voice involved in there and possibly go ahead and read a question on the air because he's looking for people. That's what he loves. Folks, you know, as I've mentioned many times before, if you want to be an Uber driver or a Lyft driver, I got them codes. Lyft drivers, you want to use Mike 720057, MIKE 720057. That's also if you want to do a Lyft ride for the first time ever. I'll get credit. I'll get 5 bones. If you want to be an Uber driver, use DJZW1YTTUE. That's DJZW1YTTUE. Sign up to be an Uber driver. Use my code. I get money. You get money. You give some rides. Everybody's happy. So please do that. Think about us when you're out there bringing everybody everywhere all the time, all over the place. And always have me in your head. I'm in a thought bubble above you just going, I'm proud of you, son. You're my Uber son. I'm your Uber dad. I'm your Lyft dad. I'm America's Uber dad. Not to be confused with America's hair dad. Some of you may know who that is, but I refuse to speculate. I will not tell you that identity right now. It's 11 years late. All right, so folks, if you want to be an Uber driver, use that code DJZW1YTTUE. You want to be a Lyft driver or a rider or an Uber rider, use that code. But a Lyft driver or a rider, Mike 720-0057. Remember, they got the YouTube channel that was built by our great friend Superfan Geo, not superfan of me, superfan of you, superfan of the world, superfan of Mac and Rufus. Right now, the YouTube channel exists, and I will tell you this, there's going to be, all right, let's talk about this first. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page. And while you're on there, we've got download sets. We got some t-shirts for sale still lurking. And that stuff's available. I feel, I've never been I'm not a good marketer. I've never been a guy who's really good at pitching all the shit that I'm selling. But at the same time, you can really hear how defeated I am with the t-shirt thing, right? Where I'm just, because I wanted to have new shirts. I want to make new shirts. I want to do all sorts of cool stuff. But I mean, nobody bought the old shirts. Why the fuck would I do new shirts? It's just a dumb thing. Maybe I go back on the road. I'll do the city specific ones again. That was a good idea because I loved those. But please go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go to the Joe Business page. We've got all that stuff there lurking and looking. But most importantly, we've got our Amazon link, as I've mentioned. If you use our Amazon link, forget Bezos' dirty business. Let's get Schmitty's dirty business online and go to the Amazon link. Click through, and anything you buy, I will get credit for. Thank you so much for thinking of us. The holiday season is always a good time for us, and it's nice of you to go ahead and use these products. And again, it doesn't cost you anything to use the link. We get money, they get money, you get stuff. It works out perfectly. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You're going to be buying things at Amazon anyway, so why not use the code, man? The code helps out the show, helps out you, helps out Bezos and more of his dirty business, helps Google map the world. I don't know, does Amazon support Google? They might. It helps Amazon Prime exist. It helps them buy drones. God, listen, if anything, if I started this podcast 10 years ago, I thought to myself, I hope I can allow a billionaire to buy drones. If there's one way I can, in a small way, if I can contribute to a billionaire buying drones, I absolutely am on board with doing a show that does that. And look what happened. Look where we're at, folks. My Amazon link absolutely directly funds the Amazon drones. It's perfect. Which is not a minor league baseball team, but should be. Bezos should buy a minor league baseball team, just name them the Amazon drones. But use the Amazon link, please, if you're shopping at Amazon. It helps us out. It helps the show out. We get money, they get money, you get stuff. It really is a cool thing. It helps us out. And like I said, there's a YouTube channel. So here's what I was going to tell you guys about. Remember, we also, I'll just talk about this. This will all tie in. Let's tie it all together. As I mentioned, I'm going in July to Lawrenceburg, Indiana. I'm going to the Spartan Sprint Run. If you guys want to do something like that, we'll get together. We'll run, we'll eat, we'll laugh, we'll drink, we'll ache. We'll sit in a hot tub that night and fucking try to work the kinks out. And perhaps I'll do a show. Or perhaps I'll just gather around and we'll do a little meet and greet and we'll all talk and hang out and have fun. Who knows what we'll do. But we'll do it in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, July 7th of 2018. That's the Spartan Sprint. Thanks to Colette Marine Lindemann coming up with this idea and thinking it was a good idea. And I'm on board. I'm absolutely ready. And the weird thing, it's funny because I don't know if I mentioned this, man. July 14th, the following week, I'm going to be in South Dakota. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, fucking why? Are you going back to that Indian reservation to fight that dude with the gun, Earl? Now, Earl. Well, no, I have a brother who lives out there, and get this, dude, listen to this. We're having a family reunion. Yeah, that's right. We're doing a family reunion in South Dakota, and all of us. It'll be the first time all of my brothers and my mom and dad, my stepdad, are in one spot at one given time. And let's put it this way. We still have 7 months for this to fall through. I can't argue with that. Definitely we have 7 months for something bad to happen and somebody to pull out. Who knows? But right now, as is the plan, me, Lenny, Glenn, Andy, Scotty, and my mom will, and by the way, Scott, I apologize, and Drew. And I keep saying the wrong names. But we'll all be there. So I'm hoping that I don't die at the Spartan Sprint. That's the thing. It could fall apart because of me at the Spartan Sprint. I could completely, although I'm hoping in the interview, in the 7 months between now and then, I'll be in a lot better shape and I'll totally be able to handle a fucking 5K where I'm jumping over fire. We'll see. I'm doing it either way, but I've got 7 months to get in shape to go ahead and tackle that and then survive it and get to South Dakota the following week. But all of this traveling stuff is coming up, like I mentioned in July, and I mentioned the YouTube channel. Because I'm going to be doing videos and things like that from Japan as well. Like I mentioned, I'm going to Japan. Here's my so there's a Patreon page is what I wanted to say to you guys. There's a Patreon page. If you want to become a patron of this show, that would be fantastic. I would love that very much. It would make me very happy if you were to go ahead and sign up and become a patron, because that helps the show immeasurably to have people doing Patreon stuff. As a matter of fact, we had somebody sign up this week. Let's see. Go ahead if I can pull it up here and find the name. I know I'm pretty sure I had a new person. Let's see. It's our friend Christian signed up. That's right, Christian. I don't know if I might have mentioned Christian last week. I don't know. But Christian has signed up, and he has become a patron as well. And thank you, Christian, for joining us and signing up and becoming part of it. That's really cool. And earlier this month, I might have mentioned Michael signed up. We've had all sorts of people on board with the Patreon page. Thank you for thinking of us. And as I go and I do these travels, there will be things that will be exclusively for Patreon people for exclusive levels. There will be, I'll put some stuff out there just for everybody because there's the people who donate $1. I want everybody to see stuff. But then if you're in the higher tiers, there will be different stuff in Japan, and also I'll be putting stuff on YouTube from Japan, and trying to get people to watch it. I don't even know, because again, like I said, everybody's on my ass. They're like, you should review movies, you should review stuff, and I'm like, fuck, it's just nobody cares. But that's a lie. Everybody cares, and you care, certainly. So I'll be making these videos going forward and putting stuff there, especially when I go to Japan. And also, listeners have reached out to me from Japan and said, hey man, I want to hang out with you. I'm finalizing stuff, and I want to see you. I definitely want to. How many fucking times am I going to get to goddamn Japan? But the thing is, I'm going with people, so I want to make sure that it's cool with them. And I don't, I'm going to tell them they don't all need to make the fucking scene with me. That'll be terrible if I got to bring, fucking me, Ahmad, Khalid, their English buddy, and like 9 Abdullahs, and we got to fucking go meet this person, or these people, I should say. So I'm working on it. I will go ahead and make some phone calls, and I will ask some people and see what they want to do. Not some phone calls. What am I going to call Kuwait? Ring, ring. Hello, Ahmad. No. I will jump into my trusty WhatsApp, or I'll text him, or I'll send some emails. And again, I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck to do. So if you have suggestions, people have come through with some nice suggestions. I'm excited. Someone told me about an owl restaurant, an owl-themed restaurant. Now, that sounds great. However, I got to be honest with you. I'm only on board if they serve owl. I got to eat a fucking owl, right? How the fuck do you not eat owl? If I'm in Japan, I guess I'm going to eat weird shit while I'm there. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to eat a mollusk of some sort. I might eat a person. Maybe a kid. Maybe they got a Japanese kid restaurant. Who the fuck knows? Maybe I will eat Johnny Sacco. Maybe they'll cook him up, put an apple in his mouth, and I'll just cut into his tender buttocks and fucking have a big slice. Why not, Sacco? You're going down, buddy. Maybe I will bite into a fucking Spectre Man. Oh, dude, I don't care. It's all there. But I also was told there's an Ultraman theme restaurant. There's owl theme restaurants. My friend is like, you've got to sleep in a capsule hotel. All of these people have these ideas that they should want me to do. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm going to bite everything while I'm there. That's probably not the best thing to say. I'm sure the authorities will be looking for me at that point. Watch out for the super angry Gaijin happy good time biting hour. He's going to show up and just start chewing on fucking everybody. Going ahead and biting through all of the fucking Harajuku girls who are fucking walking around with Gwen Stefani knockoffs. It's going to be fantastic. And that's the thing I told you. Everybody's telling me, hey, go here, go there, go here, go there. I'm looking at this.
You're a mean one, Mr. Schmidt. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Schmidt. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Schmidt. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Schmidt. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Schmidt. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Schmidt. Given the choice between the two of you, I'll take the seasick crocodile. You're a foul one, Mr. Schmidt. You're a nasty, nasty squirt. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of dirt, Mr. Schmidt. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, yurt, dirt, dirt. You're a rotter, Mr. Schmidt. You're the king of sinful thoughts. Your heart's a dead tomato squash with moldy purple spots, Mr. Schmidt. Your soul is an appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable. Mangled up and tangled up knots. Nauseate Mr. Schmidt with the noxious super nos. You're a crooked jerky jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Schmidt. You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce.